Well, it is Christmas week, and the weather you see right there, about typical for this time of year. A couple degrees over freezing. There is a breeze and snow flurries throughout the day. 38-year-old interim head coach Todd Bowles, married, father of 4, takes over for Tony Sparano, longtime player in the NFL. Defensive back Chan Gailey and his Bills losing last week in San Diego, 37-10. We have the flip of the coin. The Dolphins won. They have deferred. Carpenter will knock it deep to rookie Justin Rogers, and away we go here in Buffalo. Drop into a knee to the 20-yard line with the touchback. It'll be 1st and 10. Quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick is coming off his worst start of the season. 38%, picked off twice, but he is over 3,000 yards for a second consecutive year.
Yeah, but he has to improve, I believe, on his decision-making and accuracy, something that was missing as part of his game last week out in San Diego. But Fitzpatrick, he's a grinder. He's going to continue to grind, and he's playing with a lot of new parts around him, so they have to improve as well.
He'll get it 1st down and 10 at his 20-yard line. The tight end, by the way, Scott Chandler, who's been a major target of Fitzpatrick's all season long, out again with a high ankle sprain. C.J. Spiller got away from Vontae Davis, runs out of real estate on the play, picks up 6 for the Buffalo Bills.
Well, C.J. Spiller, boy, if he can get going and help ignite this offense, goes a long way into helping Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Buffalo Bills. And we know how good he is running outside, Kevin. I think he's got to be able to hit some inside to really make a major difference in the offense today.
Had 83 yards a couple of weeks ago against the Tennessee Titans. 2nd down and 4.
5-6.
Bills bringing the blitz with Jeremiah Bell, who slips, and there goes Spiller diving for the 1st down, and he picks up 4 on the play. The offensive line of Buffalo has only allowed 17 sacks, fewest in the NFL. The left tackle today is Demetrius Bell. He will start after breaking a collarbone earlier in the season. That's good news for him. The left tackle of the Dolphins, by the way, Jake Long, is inactive. 1st time in his career.
Oh, and after giving up 9 sacks 1 week ago for the Miami Dolphins, they're going to have to improve their ability to protect the quarterback.
So Spiller's taken it a couple times. Here is a 1st and 10 from the 30. Leaking through and dropped by Brad Smith. Bell was there. Flag is down at the 27. Jeremiah Bell has had a very steady season.
Number 79, offense, 10-yard penalty, will replay, 1st down.
That's Eric Pierce, who just signed a big extension to his contract this week for the Bills.
Yeah, Pierce is a guy that's been doing a good job. Watch him at the right tackle position. You see him right there, holding right there against Cameron Wake. Fitzpatrick still takes a hit on the play, coming in from the other side. Look at that. Boy, put a stamp on him.
Audric got him from that other side. So there's Pierce on one side. Demetrius Bell is the other tackle. With the penalty, 1st down and 20 for Buffalo on the game-opening drive. Whoops. There he goes. Down he goes. Wake comes through with the sack. Just his 2nd sack in the last 6 games. His 7th of the year.
Eric Pierce, he just comes right around the right corner. Look at this. And now, in my mind, I think if you're Fitzpatrick, get rid of the ball. Because watch, you got Brad Smith rolling out to this side. Go ahead and just dump it off to him. You didn't have to take a sack on that play because there were outlets designed as part of the play for you to get rid of the football without taking a sack.
And we just said they have the fewest sacks allowed, this offensive line, in the NFL.
Well, Cameron Wake is coming right after Eric Pierce. He's working over the right tackle for the Bills.
6 now in the secondary for Miami. 2nd down and 30. And that's grabbed by Stevie Johnson. He picks up 14 yards on the play. He's going for 1,000 this season on the defensive line. Paul Soliai anchors the run defense for Miami. Jason Taylor had 2 sacks last week. to move into number 6 on the all-time list, taking the place of the injured Koamisi, inactive today. In the secondary, Vontae Davis has played well the last couple of weeks. He was a former #1 pick. Jeremiah Bell, as you said, has been a very steadying influence in that secondary for the Fins.
And no one has been able to run on this Miami Dolphins defense.
On 3rd and 16, this is Tashard Choice, got by Bell, weaving his way, and he was brought down on the play by Davis. A catch and run of 15 and about a yard, maybe a yard and a half shy of the first down.
Oh, it's just good weaving by Tashard Choice. Obviously, you want to get going vertical right there. I think he could have hit the seam, but he does cut it back, but not enough to hit that first down marker. I think you've got to always know where that first down marker is, and the sooner you can get going forward as opposed to cutting back, you stand a better chance of picking up the first down.
Brian Moorman will punt. Has one of the best gross averages in the NFL. Number 4 coming into today. And Devon Bess is deep back for Miami, looking up into that snow. And brought down on the play with a good special teams tackle, Danny Batt. 48-yard punt, 8-yard return. Here comes Matt Moore with 11:33 in the first from snowy Buffalo. Bills got the opening kickoff, 5 plays punt. This is Miami's first possession right here from the 22, 1st and 10. New left tackle, Moore is out there for the concussion. Reggie Bush. By Darren Williams knocked him down, the rookie right there, number 23. It's a gain of 5. Then he's up to the 27-yard line. Matt Moore had the mild concussion, but he is back. When they won 4 of 5, he was one of the top-rated quarterbacks in the NFL. The left tackle with Jake Long inactive today will be John Jerry, replacing the injured Long. His first miss in 62 games. Jerry normally a guard, and Reggie Bush going after 1,000. Already a career-high 770. 2nd down and 5. Bush again. Wrapped up and taken down by Dwan Edwards on that defensive line. The ex-Baltimore Raven. No gain on the play. The Buffalo defense, promising rookie Marcel Darius, leads the Bills in sacks. He's out of Alabama. The rookie linebacker is Calvin Shepard. He is an emerging player. 14 tackles last week against the San Diego Chargers. And rookie Aaron Williams is back after missing last week with a calf injury. 3 rookies, all a part of a defense that has been devastated with injuries this season. 3rd down and 5. Wow, right up the middle, right through the gut, and Darius comes up with a 2nd sack in as many weeks, his 5th of the year. It's 3 and out for Miami.
One rookie working against another, against the center, Mike Pouncey. Watch him come right around, and they just do a twist and stunt. He's not working with Richie Incognito, had to stay on him man-to-man, and he just walks right around. And Pouncey is not happy because he and the guard didn't trade off and swap off as he came around to get the sack.
So it's a loss of 7. Here is the punt now by Brandon Fields, one of the best in the business. Jarris Bird. Another McKelvin, Leotis McKelvin, who is the deep down. He fumbles the ball, and Bird jumps into it and recovers the ball. A flag was thrown, a 52-yard punt with a 7-yard return. And we will see what the penalty flag is all about with our referee today, the affable John Perry, who will, I'm sure, work with the interim head coach, Todd Bowles, in his first game as a head coach in the
During
NFL.
the return, illegal block in the back. Number 57 of the return team. 10-yard penalty. 1st and 10, Buffalo.
That's reserve linebacker Danny Batt. So each team has had it once. Each team has punted. 9:42 in the first.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Sprint, all football, no limits, only from Sprint. And by the all-new Volkswagen Passat, 2012 Motor Trend Car of the Year.
In Niagara Falls in this holiday season, each team has had it once. Each team has punted. Here's a 1st and 10. After Miami went 3 and out from the 26-yard line for Ryan Fitzpatrick, who played college football at Harvard. And looking for Hagan, who had coverage that time, was Sean Smith, who has been a starter all season. Incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
And whether it's Derek Hagan or whether it's Brad Smith, you have new receivers, even C.J. Spiller and Tashard Choice. All new weapons around Ryan Fitzpatrick, and that's what he talked about, Kevin, is I'm throwing 2 new guys. Okay, that wasn't even with us in training camp, and Hagan's one of those guys that's new, as Sean Smith locks him up to prevent the pass from Fitzpatrick over to Hagan.
So he's having a hard time getting on the same page.
Yeah, it does take a while.
Now a 2nd down and 10, C.J. Spiller. And with an initial hand on him was Kendall Langford. It is a gain of 4, and he's up to the 31-yard line for Buffalo.
And trying to run the ball against this Miami Dolphins defense is going to be very difficult. And of course, the Bills have struggled to run the ball since they lost Fred Jackson. As we take a look at Todd Bowles, he brings in the league's 3rd best rushing defense into this ball game. Only the 49ers and Ravens have a better run defense than the Miami Dolphins.
Hey, what?
6 defensive backs for the Miami Dolphins, 3rd and a long 5 for Buffalo. In back of the intended receiver, Stevie Johnson, who has been here all season. It's 3 and out. Nice coverage on the play by Sean Smith once again, and for a 2nd consecutive possession, Buffalo's got to punt the ball.
Yeah, once again, they go after Sean Smith, and he's tight in coverage, doing a wonderful job, locked up against Stevie Johnson. You know, these 2 corners, Vontae Davis, Sean Smith, very good players for Miami Dolphins. And I think one thing lost in a season where they're not going to the playoffs yet again is his defense has played well pretty much all season long, Kevin.
So Brian Moorman will punt for a 2nd time. He is a great directional punter. Devon Bess is back inside the 25 for the Dolphins, and this is a beauty. Back to the 6, Bess. On a couple of tackles and finally brought down on the play by the long snapper, Harrison Sanborn. 62-yard punt. Todd Bowles will watch his offense out there for a 2nd consecutive time.
As we return to Western New York, Kevin, we ask who has the best chance of turning their interim status into a full-time gig. Is it Romeo Crennel in Kansas City? How about Mel Tucker taking over for Jack Del Rio with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Todd Bowles replacing Tony Sperano as the head coach with the Miami Dolphins? Will he be able to stay on? It's already been talked about that they're looking for the next Don Shula in Miami. But Todd Bowles, I can tell you, after meeting with him, a promising young coach in the National Football League.
And for the Buffalo 3 and out, here's a 1st and 10 for Matt Moore. Reggie Bush, Pouncey leading the way. Pouncey was injured last week, and the tackle made by Darius, gain of 3 to the 35. Todd Bowles named the Miami interim head coach after the Sperano firing. Played 8 seasons in the NFL, mostly with the Redskins. Starting his coaching career in 05 with Dallas, he just sang the praises of Bill Parcells. They all come to Miami, moved there in 2008. A very even keel about this guy. Here is a 2nd down and 7 now for the quarterback, Matt Moore. J.P. Losman will be backing him up today, the former Bill quarterback. Good time. Bush chased by Barnett, and maybe good for a 1st down. Up to the 42. Gain of 7 on the catch and run to New York, and James Brown.
All right, Kevin, Carolina on the board first, Coach.
Kevin, it's always love to see that snow up there, but down in Houston, we had 26 yards. Cam to Steve Smith after Houston fumbled by Aaron Foster. Carolina up 7-0.
That's been a 1-2 combination that has been working, and this one works. Kevin and Solly.
We know the Houston team has captured the division, but, you know, Solomon, you've got to stay a little bit sharp, even though you got to finish off the regular year.
That could be a trap game because we know the Carolina Panthers can put up some points, and if you're Houston, you got to stay on track for that #1 seed in the AFC.
Here is a 3rd and 1. Kelsey, the slippery Bush. And outside, Kelvin Shepard out of LSU knocks him out of bounds. That is a gain of 3. That is a Miami 1st down. Look at the 9-year veteran, Chris Kelsey.
I think we now know that Reggie Bush can be an every down back in the National Football League. In space, Chris Kelsey, who's good move guy in his own right, still can't corral Reggie Bush and keep him from hitting that first down mark.
Reggie Bush said, you know what, Tony Sperano believed in me. I've talked to him this week. I hated to see him go. He gave me a chance to be an every down back.
Yeah, he did give him a chance to prove it. And, you know, he says, hey, he watched other guys rush for 1,000 yards. He says, you know what, I could do that.
He's closing in. 1st and 10. Knocked away. Intended for Marshall. There's some nice defense on the play by Drayton Florence.
I'll take a look at it. Don Shula here for 26 years as the head coach, and they've had 6 coaches since then, and you can see the winning percentage, and only 2 division championships, and 10 had been won by Don Shula. No Super Bowls won by any of those 6 coaches that succeeded Shula. And as you take a look at Todd Bowles, and he talked a lot about what he owes to Tony Sperano, who did win a division title in his first year as head coach.
2nd down and 10. Carey is out there, and bad end. The ball knocked away. Bush has fumbled this year. He's had some problems holding on to it. 3 fumbles this season. It was torn away, and the Bills saying they've got it, and they do. A turnover for Miami. Bush losing his 2nd fumble, but it was his 4th fumble of the year. And look who comes up with it from the secondary, George Wilson.
He played his college ball in Southern Cal, and you can see right there being stripped away by Aaron Williams, number 23. And then there are a number of guys down at the bottom of that pile. There you see right there. Look at Aaron Williams. He's able to get it out. But if you're a guy like Reggie Bush and you played at USC in Southern Cal in warm weather, you played in the Dome Stadium with the New Orleans Saints where he helped to win a Super Bowl, and now in South Florida, these are different trying conditions for him to have to adjust to very quickly. 12th career fumble in the National Football League.
Trusnick now is playing one of those linebacker positions. It is 1st and 10 from the 42. And this is Tashard Choice. Began with Dallas. He was a couple weeks on the Redskin roster. And then he was signed by this team. No gain on the play. Well, that game last week in a span of 5 minutes and 20 seconds. The 2nd quarter was the time, and the Dolphins committed 3 turnovers. The Eagles turned them into 17 points. All a part of a 9-sack day for that Eagle D. Jeremiah Bell made the tackle the last play. It'll be now 2nd down and 10.
There's Reggie Bush hoping that trend doesn't get going again today. They've got to protect the ball if they plan on winning this game.
Evan Culver's in that secondary for Miami. And C.J. Spiller with room to roam. Brought down by Culver, hit by Jeremiah Bell, who leads Miami in tackles to the 24.
There's no bouncing this one to the sideline, Kevin. This one comes right at you. Right downhill, right at our camera. Get going downhill and get vertical running the football. And when you do this, that's where yards come by the chunks running the football. And the Buffalo Bills have averaged 61 rush yards per game in the last 3 games without Fred Jackson in the lineup. And I think if C.J. Spiller can give him any kind of running game, boy, it goes a long way into helping Fitzpatrick in the offense.
Sterling has come in on that defensive line after that 18-yard run by Spiller on 1st and 10. Another nice run. Here's Pierce with the block downfield. And that is a touchdown. C.J. Spiller, 24-yard touchdown run, but boy, did he have some terrific blocking ahead.
Wow, great blocking and great decision-making by C.J. Spiller. He was very aggressive. Now watch the kick-out block coming right here, but see, he's got to get vertical through the hole, and look at the block there. So see, you press the line of scrimmage, and that's when yards come by the chunk, making one defender miss at the back end, and then he earns his right to get into the end zone.
That's the first time in 9 games the Dolphin defense has allowed a first-quarter touchdown, and they just got sliced there by Spiller with the extra point by Dave Rayner, and 7-0 Buffalo. On that drive, Spiller had an 18-yard run. The fumble sets it up that Bush commits. They ended on a 24-yard touchdown scamper by C.J. Spiller.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Outback Steakhouse. It's always fresh in the Outback. And by TD Ameritrade.
So here on a snowy day in Buffalo, New York, actually Orchard Park, New York, a fumble by Reggie Bush sets up a nice little running display by C.J. Spiller, who takes the place of the injured Fred Jackson. Jackson was injured in Miami against these Dolphins with a broken leg earlier in the season.
How about C.J. Spiller chipping in an area needed a lot of production.
Clyde Gates is the number 10 kickoff man in the NFL, and Shepard wraps his arms around his waist. Costin is there, the tight end. It's a return of 28 yards. A frustrated Reggie Bush. C.J. Spiller getting some great entourage work into the house. 24-yard touchdown run by C.J. Spiller after the Bush fumble. Here now with the third possession, the Miami Dolphins. First and 10 from the 29. Thomas was in the backfield for the first time, and that is caught. Grabbed by Fasano, hit by Bird, 6-yard pickup, 35-yard line. Vote to send your favorite players to the 2012 Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Vote online or with your mobile device at NFL.com/Pro Bowl or text Pro Bowl to MyNFL. That's 69635. Balloting closes Monday night. The promising rookie in the backfield, Daniel Thomas. I don't know if this was in the regular rotation or if this is a response to the fumble by Bush. Thomas taking it. A grab there. The tackle by Nick Barnett on a gain of 3. And he's up to the 38.
Well, there's Bush, and now
comes.
he's coming back in. And this is an offense that really has gotten off to a tough start because the first possession ended with a sack. The second possession for Todd Bowles ends with Reggie Bush fumbling. So in 2 drives, 8 plays, 8 yards, 1 turnover. Not the way you want to get started on the road here in Buffalo.
2 tight ends. Gates is in, 3rd and 1. Bush tapped inside by Edwards. He takes up a lot of space in the middle. There's no gain on the play, and the Miami Dolphins have got to punt for a second time in 3 possessions.
What did Reggie Bush tell us? He said even in that first game where we won it 35-38 earlier up in Miami, he said we could not run the ball on this defense. He said they were very stout, very difficult to run the ball on. I think he's finding it just as equally difficult to run on this Bills defense today.
Well, there's an MVP on this Miami team. It may be the punter, Brandon Fields, one of the best this season in terms of overall punting. Number 3, Leotis McKelvin is back at the 13. It's a 48-yard punt, well placed by Fields in his 5th season out of Michigan State. And tomorrow on CBS, Hawaii 5-0 is turning up the heat and laying down the law. Don't miss a minute. That's tomorrow. Only on CBS. The Dolphins come in having won 4 of their last 6, 4-9 record overall. The Bills at 5 up and 8 down with 2 to play after this week. And out there goes Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And Kevin, you have to wonder if the Miami Dolphins, we talked about them getting off to the slow start, if something, there's a disconnect emotionally. We know how hard they played for their fired head coach and Tony Sperano, and now Todd Bowles taking over. And even Chan Gailey talked about it. Usually when you let a coach go mid-season, the team responds 1 or 2 ways. Either they come out and they play fired up, or they play great and overachieve, or they come out and tend to play flat.
5 in the secondary. 1st and 10 for Fitzpatrick. Bell had a block at the right tackle. That is Tashard Joyce. And up the sideline he goes. Knocked out of bounds on the play by Dansby. A gain of 11 to New York.
Saints looking for 6th straight, coach.
Yeah, in the 41st straight game with a touchdown pass. Drew Brees to Lance Moore. Again, he's 6 behind the record held by Johnny Unitas at 47. 7-3, New Orleans.
Kevin, that caps a 10-play, 84-yard drive.
Brees looks good.
That's huge. And New Orleans is one of 4 teams in the NFC to already clinch a spot in the playoffs.
1st and 10. After that 11-yard catch and run by Choice. Here's Tashard once again. Jeremiah Bell got him, gain of 9. Choice, as we talked about before, was kind of out on the street. He played at Georgia Tech, and that's where the current coach of the Bills, Chan Gailey, came across his path.
We said that no one has been able to run on this Miami Dolphins defense. In fact, you got to go all the way back to week 2 since they allowed a 100-yard rusher, and you know Chan Gailey saying if we can run it, it goes a long way into helping our quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick, because this has been a very good run defense for the Miami Dolphins.
Will Allen was one that chopped him down in that last play. 2nd down and 1. 66 rushing yards already for the Buffalo Bills. Bell that time slows up and takes down Spiller, and no gain on the play. Here is Jeremiah Bell, who came out this week and was talking about the last time that these two teams met, which Miami won, by the way, 35-8. And he said, you know what, we thought the Bills laid down in that game.
Yeah, he did say that. We asked Reggie Bush about it. Reggie says, you know what, we weren't able to run it early, and we weren't able to run it on this Bills defense late. He said, as far as I'm concerned, no, they didn't lay down. He said, because normally when a team lays down, you're able to pop one in the running game late. So two differencing of opinions between Jeremiah Bell and Reggie Bush.
Choice is back in. This will be the Wildcat. Oh, bobbled by Choice. Looked like he fell on the ball as the quarterback was in motion. You saw toward the bottom of your screen. There's no gain on the play. Ironic that they would do that against Miami, the team that they kind of rehatched the Wildcat in the NFL.
Yeah, ironically, they would do it without Brad Smith with Tashard Choice. But remember, Choice played for Chan Gailey at Georgia Tech when he was in college. But when you design plays for players and you get this as a result, poor execution, you tend to not call it again. You tend to not give him a second chance.
Right. Pass is back, awaiting the punt from Brian Moorman, whose team, by the way, Pittsburgh State, just won the Division II championship yesterday. Here's Bess on the 25. Calvin just about hit him. There goes Devon Bess. And brought down on the play by reserve tight end Mike Cawson on a 41-yard punt, a 23-yard return, and maybe, just maybe, a spark for the Finns with 7 seconds to play here in the first quarter.
You know, everybody wants to play meaningful games in the month of December. It's because you want to be part of this AFC playoff picture where the Houston Texans have already clinched a division title in the AFC South. Baltimore, they need a win and some help. And if you're the New England Patriots, you get a win today in Denver, you clinch the AFC East division. So a lot of interesting permutations as it pertains to the AFC playoff picture today.
Daniel Thomas in the backfield. Joined us late. Jake Long not playing the left tackle today, missing because of the back injury. Great time for Moore here on 1st down and 10. First by Spencer Johnson. That is caught. That's Clay, the rookie, who's in the secondary and brought down by Wilson. Charles Clay with his 14th reception, a 30-yard catch and run. And as we close the first here in snowy Buffalo, Miami is on the move, but down by 7. We start the second quarter here in Buffalo, New York with Solomon Wilcots, Kevin Harlan, a touchdown run of 24 yards by Spiller after a Bush fumble moments ago. 30-yard catch and run by Tulsa rookie Charles Clay for the Dolphins has given them 1st and 10 from the Buffalo 22. Bush in the backfield. Jerry with the block at the left tackle. Wide open. He's cut the tight end. Fasano. Fasano lassos his 5th touchdown reception of the year on a beautifully thrown 22-yard pass by Matt Moore, and he was wide open.
Oh, they clearly just leaving. You can see him over the right side of your screen. Brian Scott drops coverage. Just clearly, number 43 just took his eyes off the tight end, had his eyes locked in the backfield. Look, he jumps outside and he runs right by him. I'm sure George Wilson, who's trying to come over the top, was just thinking, what are you doing? And remember, it was Wilson and Brian Scott who were beaten for 2 touchdowns by the Chargers tight end Antonio Gates 1 week ago.
Carpenter's extra point ties the game at 7. Fasano has been limited in practice this entire past week, battling a rib injury, but this time kept his concentration, looking into the snow, and ties the game. Anthony Fasano with a catch of 22 yards. And remember now, it was set up by some pretty significant plays just before that. Matt Moore hits him, and he had some nice time. Von Bess had a 23-yard punt return, and Clay had a 30-yard catch and run, which set up the 22-yard touchdown pass by Moore. Moore's 11th touchdown pass of the season. Justin Rogers, the rookie from Richmond, finds a seam. And the kicker, Carpenter, brings him down. Boy, special teams are having their fingerprints on this game. 41-yard return.
Right, Rogers, he shot out of a cannon on this one. Good blocking, but see the speed? Very aggressive running as he just gets going vertical with that one and gobbling up yards with the speed. You see, he's getting in on the tackle. Whenever your kicker can kind of fill in there, that usually helps, and Carpenter did just that.
Boy, special teams have been a lot different for Miami, getting better and better, it seems, as this season has gone on. Rogers, you see a look at him right there. He was a draft choice in the 7th round. Here is Fitzpatrick. Got a touchdown run by C.J. Spiller of 24 yards. He has a 1st and 10 from the 41. A little bit high, looking for Stevie Johnson. The coverage on the play by Vontae Davis as Fitzpatrick pulls himself off the turf. And coming up as a flag has been thrown on the play.
Personal foul, face mask, number 79. Offense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Eric Pierce, who picks it up. He has started every game on that line this season for the Buffalo Bills.
Pierce is off to a slow start, struggling early in this game. Matched up against Cameron Wake. Already been penalized now for the 2nd time. Oh, he's actually outside to the right. There is he right there. And he's just really having a hard time trying to keep Cameron Wake away from the quarterback.
Bills staying with the 5 in the secondary, the 2 linebackers, the 4 down linemen. 1st and 25 now for Buffalo back at their 26. Moving right there was Hairston, who is the left tackle.
75. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Bell and Hairston are flipping, seems per series on that line at the left tackle to New York and James Brown.
Peppers, coach.
Yeah, the only offense coming these days in Chicago is from their defense. Julius Peppers on the ground. Strips the ball. Picked up by Israel Idonije, their 8th non-offensive touchdown of the year. And Chicago, in a must-win, ties it up 7-7.
Kevin Harlan, Solomon Wilcots.
You bet it's a must-win for the 7 and 6 Bears. Peppers has had almost a terrific season, as good a season as he's had in his career.
You kind of knew if they were going to snap that losing streak, the defense would have to score, right?
Yeah, exactly. Here is a 1st and 30. And you can see the avalanche of Miami defenders all over the receiver, David Nelson. Odrick was among 3 that were right there on the gain of 6. The Sprint halftime report is coming your way in New York with JP Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher. With NFL scores, news, and highlights, that's coming up on the Sprint halftime from our CBS studios in New York. 2nd down and 24. You can see the stats up there. Fitzpatrick is 4 of 6. The offense today by both teams. Dolphins scored moments ago on a 22-yard touchdown pass to the tight end Fasano.
Hey, wide line!
Little high, incomplete. Vontae Davis was underneath, and that ball goes whistling over the head of his prime receiver, Stevie Johnson. Incomplete, 3rd down now.
Yeah, we said that Ryan Fitzpatrick struggled last week against the San Diego Chargers. Had by far his worst game of the season. And we said that in this game, the areas where he had to improve was decision-making and accuracy. And you saw, even with good protection, that time on that throw, that ball sailed way high over the head of Stevie. And so he's just got to do a better job of honing in and locking in on the receiver with better technique and fundamental and improve his accuracy.
Miami was 6 in the secondary. That's Choice coming to you there in motion. 3rd and 24. Tashard gets the ball. There was a block by Hagan. And the flags are thrown. And the tackle on the play made by Tony McDaniel. And Burnett there, 15-yard catch and run. And like we said, the flag is back at about the 30-yard line. And the gain was to the 41. which would still be shy of the first down.
During the run, off holding on the offense, number 80. That penalty's been declined. The resulting play, 4th down.
Just finishing up on that Fitzpatrick story, he did get a vote of confidence this week from his coach, Chan Gailey. People said the team is falling apart, our quarterback isn't keeping up with his end of the bargain with a big brand new contract, and Chan Gailey says there's no question about the quarterback in my mind.
Oh, no, I don't think there's a question. Can he play better? Absolutely, but he's got so many new weapons around him that there is some miscommunication. I'd like to believe a guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick, he went to Harvard. He's got a lot of friends working at some big-time investment firms on Wall Street. I would think that the money wouldn't make a difference with him. He loves playing football in the NFL.
That's Best back there. He had that 23-yard return the last time. 44-yard punt. Finns will get it tied at 7. Look at Ryan Fitzpatrick.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows, now playing in theaters everywhere. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by the Ford F-150, available with the efficiency and power of EcoBoost.
Here in Buffalo, they have the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Bisons in minor league baseball. 1st and 10 after the punt, 3 and out by the Buffalo Bills. Last time the Dolphins had it, they got a 22-yard touchdown pass to their tight end. 1st and 10 here. Moore. Jairus Byrd is all over Reggie Bush. It's a loss of 5, and it's back to the 9-yard line. Bird's dad, of course, was the Pro Bowler Gilbert.
Oh, take a look at the key plays led to the Dolphins score. Set up on the long return by Devon Best. Excellent field position to play from Moore to Charles Clay. Got him into scoring position at the 22-yard line. And then it's Matt Moore to Fasano, where the Bills defense is allowed a touchdown pass to a tight end for the 2nd consecutive week. And you can see the first 4 possession for the Dolphins. First 2 did not get off to a good start, but that last one resulted into a touchdown.
2nd and 15, looking for Hartline, and what a catch! Great grab by Hartline, a 26-yard throw, working on the rookie out of Texas, Aaron Williams.
Well, this Dolphins offense has come alive. Matt Moore in his 9, now 10th start. You can see him playing so much better. And we talk about getting in sync with your wide receivers. Remember when he first started and he and the receivers were not in sync as they are now.
1st and 10. Complete over Fasano's head. He was covered on the play by Brian Scott. 2nd down and 10. Big plays by Miami in this game.
Yeah, Miami, they're 6th in the National Football League with 30 plays of 25 yards or more. That's surprising for Brian Daboll's offense, because remember when Chad Henne went out, Matt Moore came in. There was the one thing that was lacking from the offense. We could see that Brandon Marshall was not in sync with his quarterback, Matt Moore, but my, how things have changed.
Hilliard is in. It's 2nd down and 10. Bush. And he'll find the crack and work on through, and brought down by Aaron Williams, maneuvering his way to the 48 of the Buffalo Bills on a burst of 12.
Oh, with ball security on his mind after the early fumble. Reggie Bush wants to get to the 2nd level of the defense, but protecting the ball. See, its contact comes in. He goes with both hands over the ball. And that's why, because he's going to get a lick. Way to finish off the run for Reggie Bush.
What are your thoughts on Matt Moore? Is he the answer at quarterback for this team, or where do they go from here?
He's improved. Let's face it. He's improved. This offense has improved. With 9 sacks 1 week ago. That's not on the quarterback. That's the offensive line.
He's got a scramble on 1st down and 10. And that's incomplete. Marshall was defended by a couple guys, including Drayton Florence. 2nd down. Here's some of the numbers on Moore.
Well, take a look at it. Remember, their first 3 starts, they were 0-3 when he first came into the starting lineup. But then we talked about it, winning 4 of the last 6. And the numbers have improved. More importantly, look at the pass plays of 25 yards or more. 14 of them, and touchdown to interception ratio has drastically improved. Already today, they have 3 plays of 25 yards or more. That's what you want in your offense.
You recall that Chad Henne went down in week 4, and Moore has come in. Here's a 2nd and 10 handoff to Bush. He's got a block there from Bess. And he maneuvers his way to the 40. It's a gain of 8 for Bush as we take you to New York and James.
Giants have won 6 of the last 7 against Washington.
Yeah, but the secondary issues continue, JB. Here, Grossman finds Santana Moss 20 yards out, 10-0. And right now, the Giants fans are getting a little restless.
That they are. Kevin Harlan, Solomon Wilcox.
Boy, the Skins had a good start to the season, then they have faltered. Look at New York there.
And after the Cowboys win last night, if you're New York Giants, you better wake up out of that slumber.
Darius just came out of the game, 3rd down and 2. Oh, what a move by Bush. He broke the ankles, and he gets a block from Marshall, and down he goes. Florence takes him away. There is a flag on a late hit. A 28-yard run by Reggie Bush, and faked right out of his shoes was George Wilson. That will make the highlight film.
Wow.
What a move. Let's see.
After the play was over, personal foul. Late hit out of bounds, number 29. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
28-yard run.
Oh, take a look at this. This is going to be the penalty of Drayton Florence. Now, he didn't yank him down, but there was contact. Now, look at this run. And look at the second level. This is like video game material here. Fake to the outside, spin back in. You hit that B button. You only see that in the virtual world of video games, not in the real world, unless it's Reggie Bush. Wilson still looking for Reggie Bush.
1st and goal at the 6 for the Dolphins. Oh, what a nice handoff to Bess. On a little Statue of Liberty, the fake pass to Bush. They give it off to Bess. He picks up 5. I love plays like that. He's down to the 1.
And it was George Wilson who made the touchdown saving tackle. And there you see, fake that one and just slip it on the backside. Look at the back off.
Oh, it's terrific.
Handoff. That's just excellent ball handling by Matt Moore. Fooled everyone except George Wilson. That's good ball handling there. I played with a guy like that in Cincinnati who could handle the ball pretty well.
What's his name?
Yeah, on numerous size.
Oh, yes.
He could get that kind of ball handling done.
2nd and goal at the 2. Thomas is in. He's being chased. The quarterback is Moore by Spencer. A flag has been thrown in the end zone. Hold, I think. It's against Buffalo. On this drive, a 26-yard pass to Hartline.
Prior to the pass being thrown, holding, defense, number 31. Half the distance to the goal, and an automatic 1st down.
That's Jarris Bird with a look at Chan Gailey, a one-time Miami Dolphin offensive coordinator.
Boy, Spencer Johnson lays a lick on Matt Moore. And watch after the contact. Look how far he goes flying. Look how far he slides. That's a lot of force.
1st and goal. This is Thomas. He's one of the top rookie running backs in the NFL. Right there, Spencer Johnson at the bottom of that pile. It's a loss of a yard. Chris Kelsey was there too, making the stop. 2nd down and goal for the Dolphins.
Well, the Bills defense have allowed a score on 21 consecutive red zone possessions. And in those 21 scores, 17 have been touchdowns.
Yeah.
So if they can get a stop here, that would be huge. But the numbers show that they've not been good when placed in these situations.
Darius has still not come in from the sideline after hurting his right wrist. They're looking at him on the sideline. Here's a 2nd goal at the 2. For Marshall. Covered by Drayton Florence. That is incomplete. And now 3rd and goal for Miami.
Covered by Florence and Jarris Bird. Initially, there is Drayton Florence. Good job in Bird coming over to help out. You know Brandon Marshall's going to get a lot of attention down inside the red zone. It's going to be interesting. What do you do here 2nd on the 2-yard line? 3rd and 2. You can see the defense allowed a score inside the red zone, 21 consecutive possessions. But it's tough to run on it down here.
3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. Marshall. I couldn't tell if he had his hands on it or not.
He did.
Jarris Bird, number 31, was the one to come in from the other side, and they intersected.
He's going to have his hands on this one. Watch this. Look at that.
Oh, Bird knocked it away.
He had it.
Yep, Bird, I think, knocked it away, and they had the coverage by Brian Scott as well. Carpenter will try to go here for a 20-yard field goal. Fields will hold. And Miami is on top with 8:34 to play in the second. They had it first and goal at the 1. They settle for the field goal, but get their first lead there. Well, we know that Marshall has had a hard time holding on to balls in the end zone, on the field, and he had one stripped that time by Jarris Bird. Deep back here, Justin Rogers on the kickoff by Carpenter. They'll leave it in the end zone. Miami has scored 10 unanswered points. A 22-yard pass to the tight end, a 20-yard field goal. Now Fitzpatrick finds himself down by 3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Kay Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with Kay.
Right on Lake Erie here in Buffalo tonight on 60 Minutes. The new threat from the Great Recession, plus Meryl Streep. All tonight on 60 Minutes and only on CBS. 2 consecutive scores by the Dolphins, 10 unanswered. They're on top. And back on defense with 5 in the secondary. A touchback on the kickoff moments ago. 1st and 10 with Fitzpatrick at his own 20-yard line.
Base.
Brad Smith, the ex-New York Jet. Jack the ball trades for this offense. And C.J. Spiller's got a touchdown run today. Bouncing his way. Trusnick makes the stop. He's a leading special team tackler, playing some outside backer there. And it's a gain of 6 up to the 26-yard line. We were talking about Marshall moments ago.
Yeah, 12 drops among some of the most this season. And, you know, it's sort of been feast or famine. Certainly, he can become the first Dolphins wide receiver to have back-to-back seasons over 1,000 yards receiver for the first time in 17 years since Irving Fryer did it. But certainly you want to be able to nab those in the end zone when you have an opportunity.
It's 2nd down and 4. Blitz from Bell, and that is grabbed by Vontae Davis. 3rd pick of the season for Davis. And the pressure and the blitz by Bell probably screwed him up. It's a turnover for Buffalo.
Well, it's intended pressure. 3-step drop. You know the ball's got to come out quick. And if you're Vontae Davis, you don't backpedal. You attack the ball. You attack the wide receiver, knowing the ball is going to come out quick. 3-step drop in the face of pressure. He's chucking and ducking. He's throwing it and trying to cover for himself. So he never even sees Vontae Davis on the back end, who's looking to steal the ball from Ryan Fitzpatrick. Mission accomplished by Vontae Davis.
Vontae Davis is the brother of San Francisco tight end Vernon Davis. He's a former #1 pick out of Illinois. We told you at the top of the show, he has been playing well. Moore going deep. 1st and 10, dropped, and a flag. Brandon Marshall again can't hold on. It would have been a spectacular catch, but we'll take a look at it.
Well,
Drayton Florence was right there.
He grabbed him. There's no doubt about it. But if you're Brandon Marshall, you still got to catch that ball, because after he detached.
Defense, number 29. Automatic 1st down at the spot of the foul.
7th penalty on the Buffalo Bills already.
Yeah, Drayton Florence is beat on the play. Watch, he's going to go right by him, and then he's going to grab him. See inside right there. See, he grabs him. Now he detaches and still had a chance to make the catch for a touchdown. Had he caught it, they would have waved off the penalty, and it would be a touchdown right now for the Miami Dolphins.
It'll be 1st and goal at the 9. Bush, no room to roam there. Alex Carrington making the stop. It's no gain on the play. He'll stay at the 9-yard line for the Dolphins.
Oh, the rush yards are very difficult to come by. We did see the one spectacular run earlier by Reggie Bush against this defense. Other than that, the Bills defense, their run defense has been pretty good. Even though 72 yards rushing so far for Miami, really most of it has come on a couple of runs, but Todd Bowles, he's got to help his offense to get into the end zone on these red zone possessions, not settle for field goal.
2nd down and goal at the 9. Bush into a pile right there, and there's, again, no room. Spencer Johnson late, grabbing him from behind. Dwan Edwards was there. It's a gain of a yard. We've not seen, again, Marcel Darius since he hurt his wrist or his hand, and they're still trying to get word from the Buffalo sideline as to his situation.
And on both of these red zone possessions, Brandon Marshall had a chance to catch the ball for a touchdown. It means now they have to settle for other ways of trying to get it in, and that's usually by running it. And one thing Reggie Bush is not is that goal line short yardage runner, more of an open field guy.
Daniel Thomas is in, the rookie out of K-State. 3rd and goal at the 8. Jerry with the block at the left tackle. Almost picked off by Aaron Williams on a pass intended for Brian Hartline. It's 4th and goal, and they'll try for 3. So again, a goal-to-go situation, and Miami has to settle for another 3-point try.
This is just good coverage by Aaron Williams. He outplays Brian Hartline. He's the receiver on this. A great anticipation, though, by Matt Moore. You had to throw the ball. You don't want to take a sack. He anticipated that Hartline was going to break underneath Aaron Williams. Instead, he tries to go over the top, and Williams in better shape to catch the ball.
Here comes Carpenter, tacking on 3 more, and Miami has scored 13 unanswered. 6:05 in the second quarter. Brand new coach. And those words inside the Miami Dolphins today. So Miami has gone up on a 26-yard field goal, a 20-yard field goal, and you got a new coach, new voice, new way of doing things, perhaps new evaluations for Todd Bowles, who steps into the place held before by Coach Tony Sperano.
And you have to love Todd Bowles and his approach to things, because he says, hey, there's only one way I can make my mark, and that is by winning games. It's not by giving speeches and not by doing anything dramatic or philosophical. It's just going out and winning games. And so that's the goal of this football team, is to take these final 3 games inside the AFC East division and win them all.
Justin Rogers gets it on the kickoff by Dan Carpenter. Good open field tackle right there by reserve wide receiver Julius Pruitt. 16-yard return, so the Dolphins cash in on the interception by Davis. And tonight on Survivor, it's down to 3 tribal councils and 2 suspense-filled hours. Don't miss the season finale and live reunion show tonight. It's only on CBS, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Game's blacked out here in Buffalo today, as the worst beginning field position for the Bills will start this drive at their 14, 1st down and 10.
How about taking a shot down the field? You got to expect one of your wide receivers, usually Stevie Johnson, to win in this situation and dig yourself out of a hole.
Choice in the backfield for quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick. Sharp choice. Well, Wake is jumping on him there at the very end of the play, but they got some pretty good penetration. Soliai, it's a gain of about 2, and he's out just beyond the 15-yard line. As at the bottom there, you'll see some of our numbers with today. This game with Moore throwing a touchdown pass earlier on a 22-yard throw to the tight end Fasano.
For the Miami Dolphins, what did they want to do? They wanted to protect their quarterback and then get pressure on Ryan Fitzpatrick. They feel like they can win this game at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
White line, white line.
On 2nd and a long 8. Screen pass. Reinhardt with the block. C.J. Spiller over with a block too by Brad Smith. Then tackled on the play by Sean Smith. In the secondary for the Miami Dolphins, after all that running, there's no gain on the play. They stay at the 16.
Now, what you love about C.J. Spiller is watch the quickness as he sets up this block by 76 Chad Reinhardt. But after that, why are you running toward the sideline? See, no, not that way. You got to come this way, not toward the sideline. He's a shifty runner. He makes defenders miss. But he's got to run in the right direction to be able to gain yards. So all that elusiveness is for naught when you run toward the sideline and not toward the line of scrimmage.
Laser, 58.
Dolphins are going 6 in the secondary. 3rd down and 8 for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Nice knockaway. Beautiful defensive play. It was pulled off by Will Allen. He's been a reserve most of the season. The pass was intended for Derek Hagan, a former Miami Dolphin receiver. 3 and out, they got a punt.
So you got to take some shots. Now, they're bringing everyone. So this ball has to come out quick. 3-step drop, but the defensive backs can sit on everything. When you bring the heat, when you bring the pressure, you force a 3-step drop, quick release by the quarterback, knowing the ball's coming out quickly. You just sit on everything going short.
Von Bess earlier had a 23-yard punt return. There he stands at about the 35 with the Mormon punt coming his way. There is wind here inside the stadium. It seems to be at the back of the Buffalo Bill punter. Wilson got in there and just about had a shot at the ball. Bess from the 22. Oh, look at the room he's got to roam. And then he was brought down by Corey McIntyre, who is the fullback and the leading special teams tackler. 19-yard return and a 61-yard punt as we take a look at the landscape of the NFC playoff situation.
Yeah, it is the NFC playoff picture, in the Green Bay Packers. A win today in Kansas City, they would improve to 14-0. They have a shot of clinching home field advantage, particularly if San Francisco loses or tie against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Monday night game. San Francisco's already clinched their division. The Saints, we said, they've already clinched a spot in the playoffs, and Dallas Cowboys improved to 8-6 and doing a really good job with a win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night.
Here's the Bills, their coach Chan Gailey. They've lost 6 consecutive games. An extra lineman is now in for Miami. They have 6 linemen. That's Nate Garner, 75, bottom of your screen. Bush on 1st and 10. And Barnett, the ex-Packer, got him right around the ankles and kind of forced him out of bounds. It's a gain of 9, though, as Bush cuts the corner and picks up 9 on the play, and some shoving after the play. Some Bills are in that Miami zone. But I wonder how the confidence is of Buffalo with 6 straight losses, and it's tough sometimes to resurrect a team late in the year like Gailey's going to have to do.
Well, Gailey talked about it. He says, you know, the confidence is waning at this point. You lose 6 in a row. And this is a team, remember, when they were healthy, they were rolling. But it's not a roster that has a ton of talent, particularly in way of depth. So you start taking on losses in terms of injuries to Fred Jacksons and Kyle Williams. Then you start to see the lack of depth show itself for this team.
Garner is out on that play, the extra lineman. That's a 5-yard carry by Daniel Thomas. Right up the middle and brought down by Chris Kelsey, and he moves the ball to the 44-yard line of the Buffalo Bills with the first down.
Take a look at Chan Gailey. He kind of knows that this is a moment where the game hangs in a balance. Remember, they were blown out last time they played this team about 1 month ago, 35-38 down in Miami. And the defense really needs to get a stop here. Can't let them go and put more points on the board on this possession.
Darius is back in on this defensive situation for the Bills. Is Moore looking for Hartline and the coverage again, and they're working on that rookie, obviously, Aaron Williams, who was out last week and did not play with a right knee and a right calf injury for Buffalo.
And so far, look at Aaron Williams up to the tap, reroutes perfectly, got his vision and eyes on the ball, playing it all the way, staying on top of Brian Hartline, who could not get on top of the rookie. And I think Williams doing a really good job showing why he was a high pick in the draft.
2nd down and 10.
Zone.
Marshall, who's not got a pass today in motion. Reggie Bush, look at him pick and poke his way through there. Florence got him, as did Brian Scott. It's a gain of 7. Reggie today, 14 carries and 68 yards. He's going for 1,000, although he won't tell you it means a lot. I think deep down it probably signifies a lot in his career.
Yeah, a little delayed draw. Look at him picking his way through traffic. Yeah, he says, you know, hey, it's not a real big deal, but he knew the exact number he needed to hit the 1,000-yard mark. 230 coming into today's game. He knew the number, but yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, he said average about 77 yards a game. There's a 3rd and 3 now for Moore. And he's looking for Bess, who is covered on the play by rookie Justin Rogers. Just out of his reach, incomplete. 4th down and 3, and Miami.
2 good-looking rookies. We showed you Aaron Williams. This is Justin Rogers, who have caught the coach's eye and attention. I think doing a wonderful job in the slot position and defending and covering Devon Bess down the field. I thought he was in great position there, and that was a tight window for Matt Moore to try to squeeze that throw in.
Miami will be looking to punt. They're over there talking, and they'll jump on out. But you wonder if they maybe have something up their sleeve here. Let's see.
Got to always be careful when they're over there huddling and talking about it.
Well, if nothing else, it's camouflage. It's good window dressing for what they might do. Delay of game for Miami.
Penalty's been declined. 4th down.
And he knew they would, and so now it'll be up to Brandon Fields to get this in. I'll tell you, if there wasn't a Shane Leckler in the AFC, this would be the the best punter certainly within that conference, maybe the entire NFL. The last week against Philadelphia, 6 punts, net 49.8.
That's great.
Just phenomenal.
On the average, but Shane Leckler,
yeah,
he's a weapon in and of himself.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's another flag. In fact, they're all over the field.
Ball start. Ball start. Number 50. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Well, they declined the delay of game, and they're going to decline this as well. They may have jumped off sides on purpose.
Yeah, it's Marvin Mitchell, and he's hearing from his head coach over there, Todd Bowles, getting after him. And he's smiling, but Todd Bowles, he wasn't smiling at all. Not happy.
Fields a punt. The Aussie rules punt with the nose of the ball hits the top of the foot, and that was caught by the rookie Jimmy Wilson, who makes the grab. Wilson is a 7th-round pick out of Montana. He blocked the punt, remember, last week against Philadelphia. Well, keep your fantasy football season going with Playoff Challenge and compete against the nation for a chance to win $5,000. Sign up now at cbssports.com/challenge. So here comes Buffalo. You know, as we continue to talk about the Miami head coaching situation, they are going to keep their general manager, Jeff Ireland. He's going to remain, and he said at the press conference, finding a quarterback this offseason is essential. Now, there's no doubt that his fingerprints are all over this franchise, and especially when you look at the 53 on the roster.
One thing about the Miami Dolphins, we talked about the 6 head coaches. To succeed, Coach Shula, they've got to have some stability now in the front office, and at that head coaching position, they continue to keep turning it over, and boy, you can't build and grow any roots to yield good fruit with this football team.
Here's Spiller on 1st and 10. Demetrius Bell is back out there at the left tackle. He and Hairston are going back and forth. Tyrone Culver is there. Cameron Wake is there. Wake had a sack earlier in the game, so it's a gain of 2. And we've reached the 2-minute warning. 13 consecutive points by the Miami Dolphins in a tough day so far for Buffalo's Ryan Fitzpatrick. Coming up from our CBS studios in New York, the Sprint Halftime Report with James Brown, Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, Boomer Esiason, Coach Bill Cowher for the latest scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Bill Cowher said he is not interested in coaching next year. Well, Miami might be an interesting job to look at nonetheless. 2nd down and 9, 3 timeouts remaining for the Bills and the Fins. Here comes Jason Taylor. And Spiller grabbed from behind. Dansby rides him down. It's a gain of 6. And they'll put the ball at about the 16. 3rd and 3.
Where you going?
Fitzpatrick incomplete. Stevie Johnson in his sights. He had linebackers in front and defensive backs in back, and now it will be 4th down. They're going to have to punt.
After a couple of interceptions last week, and they needed Fitzmagic to return, but they got the sack early on Ryan Fitzpatrick, then the incompletion, and then blitz, interception down inside the red zone. Equates the easy points for the Miami Dolphins. They're coming with a lot of pressure, and that's what he's talking about. He said they're bringing pressure, and we don't have anything to account for it. You could see the numbers, 7 of 13 early on in the game for 66 yards and that costly interception.
4th 3 and out for the Buffalo Bills. 6 punts in 8 possessions. Mormon will send this down to Devon Bess at the 35. Got by McKelvin. Quickly runs out of bounds near the 43-yard line. On his own accord, and now he goes into the sideline and getting shoved around just a little bit. So we've got a 7-yard return, a 49-yard punt, and Miami has 3 timeouts remaining and decent beginning field position.
And now Matt Moore gets the ball with your good opportunity. 3 timeouts, 1:21 to go in the half. Obviously, he'd like to be able to put together a drive to put some points on the board before heading in at halftime.
1st down and 10. Bush is in the backfield. And And Buffalo will line up with 6 in the secondary. Big hole by Bush. From behind, he is brought down by the rookie Rodgers. 14-yard burst for Reggie Bush. 82 first-half rushing yards for Reggie. He's already had 3 of his career 4 100-yard rushing games this season for Miami. 1st and 10. Moore looking for Hartline, and he's got it! What a catch! Another long one for Hartline, who grabbed one earlier for 26. This is a 43-yard strike, working on Jarris Byrd to the 12-yard line of the Bills.
Yeah, it's Aaron Williams, 23, gets behind him. Byrd comes over, lays a lick on Brian Hartline, who said, I finally was able to beat the rookie. It was Aaron Williams that we showed good tight coverage, winning at the line of scrimmage against Hartline earlier in the game. That time Hartline beat him at the line of scrimmage and got on top of Aaron Williams.
Former high school track champion from Ohio. 1st and 10. Knocked away. Loose ball. Is it still loose? Now the question is, it is a fumble. Arthur Moats vacuums it in for the Buffalo Bills, and the Bills squander, or rather Miami squanders, excellent field position late in the half.
Yeah, this is going to be a fumble. Look, it's an underhand toss. Looked like it might have been over him, but Reggie Bush didn't get on top of the ball. He had an opportunity to secure the ball. He initially thought it was a pass. And I'm not so sure. Let's take a look at it.
Kelsey.
Yeah, that ball comes out. Kelsey knocks that ball. The ball does go out forward because it ricochets off the pads. But it looked as if the arm was moving backward when the ball came out. Watch, the arm goes back. Arm's going back right there. See, that ball comes out, and then it goes forward, even though the arm... Wow, that's going to be tight. That's real close.
Remember, inside 2 minutes, every review is...
Well, you got to look at that.
Coming from the official booth run by the NFL. So there is no challenge on the field, but the booth will review it. 26 seconds to play in the second quarter from the Buffalo Stadium.
Welcome back to Western New York. We take a look at it now. I think this arm's moving forward. See right there? The arm is moving forward. That's why the ball comes out forward. And yeah, he's hit and the ball comes off his hand, but not until the arm moves forward. And that's what forces the ball to go forward towards Reggie Bush. See right there? His arm had already started moving forward by the time Chris Kelsey hits the arm of Matt Moore.
The play has been confirmed as a fumble. Prior to the quarterback's arm going forward, the ball was jarred loose. Quarterback had an empty hand. 1st and 10.
Okay, now they say the quarterback had an empty hand as the arm started going forward. Now, answer me this question, Kevin. What caused the ball to go forward? If his hand is empty when it's moving forward, then why did the ball spiral out of his hand if he didn't have the ball in it by the time he started moving forward? The sheer science of it tells you that the ball was in his hand as the arm started to move forward.
Moats recovers the loose ball. Buffalo at their own 28. 3 timeouts remaining, but just 26 seconds to play here in the first half. Spiller blocked by Hagan. Wrestled out of bounds. Nolan Carroll coming over to make the stop. It's a gain of 9. The clock is stopped at 20 seconds. Jeremiah Bell had a hand in that as well. Well, they came right by Colombo and knocked that ball away. 2nd down and 1. Vontae Davis has had a pick for Miami off of Fitzpatrick. That was a fumble by the Miami quarterback, Matt Moore. And the turnovers find Miami getting 2 and Buffalo getting 1. Here is a throw, and that is caught. Nelson knocked out of bounds by Rashad Jones. 14-yard catch. Clock is stopped at 14 seconds. The ball will be spotted at the 49.
Well, they do a much better job of picking up the pressure coming in off the right side of the formation. That's what allowed time for Fitzpatrick to throw this strike and completion over to Nelson. And that's something they can see, the pressure coming off the right side, and Nelson comes clear across the formation, which you had to pick up the blitz in order to allow him to come open. after running so far across the field. If you take a look where Rayner needs to get, just inside that 40, where he has a career-long 56-yard field goal there.
1st and 10. And that was defended. Well, as a pass by Hagan, defended on the play by Will Allen. Penalty will go on the Miami secondary and on 11-year veteran Will Allen.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 25. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
Oh, that's just Will Allen giving them a play. If you're Todd Bowles, no way you can be happy with the way Will Allen. Just play the ball. And don't play the man. See, look at the ball. Why is he looking at the man? No. And there you see him clubbing the arms of Hagan. That's giving him a free play. All he had to do was play the ball. Maybe you can even come away with an interception yourself. Just poor timing and poor play by Allen.
Buffalo uses their first timeout. So again, the Miami Dolphins have fumbled twice. Bush early on. It led to a 24-yard touchdown run by Spiller. More moments ago, which leads to this Buffalo possession. Down 7-0. Miami came back to get a 22-yard touchdown pass. More to Fasano. And a couple of field goals. 1 of 20. 1 of 26 yards by Dan Carpenter. And what for Todd Bowles is his first time as a head coach in the NFL. Another look at Rayner, who has gone 5 of 7. And of those 5 hits, he's hit a 53-yarder and a 56-yarder for Coach Chan Gailey. 1st down and 10. Six defensive backs for Miami. Stevie Johnson broke a tackle of Merlin. Brought down on the play by Clemens. 22-yard catch. There's no time, as you can see. They had 2 timeouts.
This is the second charge timeout. Buffalo. It will be a 30-second timeout. The timeout was called with 2 seconds remaining.
I knew.
In the half.
I could see it out of the corner of my eye that they were going to get that timeout in after the catch.
This was close, though, because
it was.
Stevie Johnson kept running as opposed to getting down. It's probably not going to make it to the end. See, he's still fighting, and now he's down. There's the timeout. C.J. Spiller calling it immediately.
So here is Rayner. This will be a 22-yard try. So there was the big penalty, and it was called against Will Allen. They have the nice catch and run right there for Stevie Johnson. This will be a 25-yard field goal try. Looks like he may have backed up just a hair. Now they're going to mark it 26. Backed up a little bit more. And he did not get it. Missing that field goal right there. He missed a 53-yarder last week in San Diego. This a chippy from 26, which could have brought it a little bit closer. Wow. And it wasn't the wind. It was just a bad kick. Rayner misses a chance for 3, taking the place of the injured Ryan Lindell. Miami at halftime leading the Buffalo Bills 13-7. You're watching the NFL on CBS. In the wake of a coaching change earlier in the week, the Miami Dolphins on the road leading 13-7 over the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, and despite the Dolphins not getting off to a very fast start here, they have played really well. You have the coaching change, and then the Dolphins come on the road up to Buffalo, and they hadn't given up a first-quarter touchdown in their first 8 games, but yet they give up 1 here today. 2 turnovers in the first half for Todd Bowles' group, but yet they still lead on the scoreboard, and it starts with, of course, their quarterback, Matt Moore, able to make some plays.
Right now, let's take a look at the Droid Razor play presented by Motorola.
Yeah, Matt Moore came out early on. The touchdown pass, Anthony Fasano on the other end. They were able to connect and create some big plays in the passing game. And Matt Moore has played very well. I think this offense now has some teeth. They have good running from Reggie Bush, so you see some balance on the offensive side of the ball for the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, Ryan Fitzpatrick has got to get it going when it comes to their passing game. They're blitzing him a lot, is Mike Nolan's defense for the Miami Dolphins. He's got to protect the ball and start to connect on some big pass plays down the field.
So the Bills, who are not that penalized a team, have 7 penalties, a missed field goal, 0-6 on 3rd down in the first half. Miami, we mentioned this before, 3 red zone possessions, 2 field goals, and a turnover. And Clyde Gates will bring it out to start our second half. And hit by the reserve tight end, Clausen. So it'll be 1st down and 10, a 23-yard return. Here comes Matt Moore. A fumble by him, a fumble by Bush. We mentioned before the comparison in his numbers with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, and even though Matt Moore has a touchdown, he does have a fumble. So he's turned it over once. Fitzpatrick has turned it over once. And I think Ryan Fitzpatrick has got to be able to solve the problems that this blitzing defense that Miami has given him. They're coming off one corner, forcing him to throw hot, but they're jumping those out routes, looking to get even more interceptions.
It's 1st and 10. Reggie Bush. Kelsey was there along with Spencer Johnson. It is a gain of 2. He's up to the 22.
We talked about the Dolphins. You can see the couple of fumbles on those first half possessions. They've punted it twice. They've had to settle for some field goals. I should say they punted 3 times, but you can see the 2 field goals. Those were opportunities to score touchdowns where there were drops in the end zone, Kevin, by Brandon Marshall that could have been touchdowns as opposed to field goals.
2nd down and 8. And that is caught. Marshall's first catch. Knocked down. Wilson was there. Scott was there. Gain of 6 for Brandon Marshall. And we've got some shoving after the play. And as both teams were going to the locker room at halftime, they share the same tunnel to their respective locker rooms. We were told by the officials there was some shoving and pushing and that the teams had to be separated going to halftime.
Well, one thing, if you're the Miami Dolphins, you have to be pleased now where even with Jake Long, their longtime starter at left tackle, out of today's game, done a pretty good job of protecting the quarterback, Matt Moore.
John Jerry has been there in that role today at that left tackle. Bush was open in the middle. They go for a Hartline, and he makes the grab. A gain of 5 in front of Aaron Williams. That is a 1st down for the Miami Dolphins.
Hartline starting to work on the rookie cornerback Aaron Williams a little bit now, because Williams started off in really good coverage. He was winning against Hartline. Now Hartline starting to use that veteran experience, a little push off at the end to get some separation and dig down and catch that ball for a 1st down. There's Jake Long. Had started 61 consecutive games to start his career. Now out of today's game.
Daniel Thomas in the backfield. He'll get the call here on 1st down and 10. Shepard had a hand on him. And Kirk Morrison, it's a gain of 2, and he's up to the 35. Go quickly. Well, he's going to stay in now. He's heading back over to the side. Long has played hurt before. The back injury last week, and then when he left, they had that avalanche of all kinds of sack numbers put up by the Philadelphia Eagles.
And he's a warrior. And if he's out, then you know he's really hurt, because he's played at less than 100% pretty much all season long. And I think by all accounts, he's played well.
Bush and Thomas here in the backfield. 2nd down and 8. And Moore going deep, and he's got his receiver caught. Marshall beating Florence. That is a Miami Dolphin touchdown. 65-yard season-long catch for Brandon Marshall. And he is over 1,000 yards to boot on the season.
We said that Matt Moore and Brandon Marshall, remember, they didn't start the season in sync, but you can tell now. Perfect throw from Matt Moore, and boy, he dropped a couple early, but none more beautiful than that catch right there by Brandon Marshall. Excellent concentration for the catch and run for a score, going over 1,000 yards for the 2nd consecutive season with the Miami Dolphins.
Plus, he's got 13 receptions this season of 25 yards or more. which is right near the top in the league, and a great catch for Marshall, beating Drayton Florence. The extra point goes through for Carpenter, and a great throw by Matt Moore, who throws his second touchdown pass today. Fasano earlier, and Marshall right there for 65. Over the last 5 years in the NFL, only New England's Wes Welker has caught more passes than Brandon Marshall. A beauty right there, a 65-yard toss, and a perfect throw at that by Matt Moore. And the lead now is 20-7. 20 unanswered points by Miami. And the ensuing kickoff. Rodgers will take it out for the Buffalo Bills. A block right there by Lee Smith. The kicker can't bring him down, and finally it's Rashad Jones who jumps on his back. But what a return to the 47 of Miami, a 54-yard kickoff return for Rodgers.
Let's take a look at the 65-yard touchdown. Matt Moore, anytime you see the single high safety, then you know to go deep to the outside. Now, Matt Moore just throws him open because Drayton Florence is in great position. Now, watch where the ball comes in at. Over that outside shoulder, and this is just throwing him away from the defender where only the receiver can get the ball. And this is just a great hands catch by Brandon Marshall. I guess we can forgive him for those drops earlier in the game. Good a catch like that.
That was something. Here's a 1st and 10 handoff to Spiller. And he'll slice his way down near the 40-yard line. Dansby brings him down. It is a gain of 8 on the play. Burnett was there too, making the stop. We're just into this 3rd quarter. There is Kevin Burnett, former San Diego Charger.
Now I'm going to go back to Brandon Marshall on that catch. And, you know, he was the big play wide receiver this team was really looking for when they signed him before last year. And I think he's brought that to the table. When you have 2 consecutive years, over 1,000 yards receiving for the Miami Dolphins, when it hadn't been done in 17 years since Urban Pryor, I think you could say he's more than delivered.
This is Tashard Choice. He sneaks through with the flag thrown, as you can see, and he just gets by the 40 down to the 39.
Holding, number 16, offense, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's Brad Smith, the former college quarterback out of Missouri.
Really out of character right now. The Buffalo Bills on your right there. You can see him just taking them right to the ground right there.
Jeremiah Bell took him down.
Yeah, and now 8 penalties against the Buffalo Bills, and not something you normally see from a team like Buffalo.
In fact, Buffalo and Miami commit the fewest penalties. Buffalo number 1 in that category coming into today. In Miami, number 5. 2nd down and 12. He'll go deep. He's got his receiver, but overthrows Stevie Johnson, who had beaten Vontae Davis. Davis had a pick earlier of Fitzpatrick for the Fins.
He overthrew him, and yeah, there was pressure in his face, but you got to hit on this one. Wake's going to come in, but up top of your screen, look at this. Wow, he just overshoots Stevie Johnson. But see, the pressure wasn't there until after he had cut it loose. Fitzpatrick looking back at the scoreboard at the other end of the field.
Cameron Wake coming in to tattoo Fitzpatrick. 3rd down and 12. Buffalo is not converted a 3rd down today. Plenty of time, as you can see, almost picked off on the ricochet. Jones will vacuum it in. Rashad Jones. That would be, and it is, his 1st interception of the day. Another turnover for Buffalo. Another interception for Fitzpatrick. Right off the knee that time of Nolan Carroll.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Garmin. Give a Garmin GPS this holiday season. And by the 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
We just had another interception off of Buffalo quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick, and you can see 7 games this season with 2 or more. That turns it over to the 42 for Matt Moore and the Miami Dolphins. And Pouncey tried to make a block on Burnett. He could not. Knocked down was Daniel Thomas. Loss of 3 back to the 39.
Let's go back and take a look at the interception, okay? Now, let's go. He's trying to squeeze it in. Freeze it right there. So, see, he's trying to squeeze it in. These two, and they're squeezing to the ball. But it's that third defender, rocket back and forth there. So you're throwing it behind the wide receiver. The third defender comes in and break it up. I still believe you're forcing the ball in that situation where there's 3 defenders and only one of your guys who can get it. That's a forced throw, and I think he could have made a better decision.
Second down, 13, Devon Bess. He was drilled on the play. Did he lose the ball? Aaron Williams, the one to get him. It's a gain of 5 up to the 44 as they are there at the skirmish.
Aaron Williams already caused 1 fumble earlier when he stripped Reggie Bush of the ball, but feel this hit. Nearly gets the ball out on this play. This young corner is hit. Ball did come out. Devon Bess got it back. Williams knows he laid some leather on that one.
Now Bess has fumbled 5 times this season, but he's only lost 2 of those 5. Third down and 8. Get by Colombo. Thus the ball is knocked astray. Spencer Johnson, Kelsey coming through. A lot of pressure. 3 and out. Miami cannot cash in on the interception.
Spencer Johnson, boy, he's just come humming around the corner. See him right here? Now watch him close in on Moore, and Kelsey's coming in from the other side. And I think it was Spencer Johnson who kind of caught the arm of Moore as it was going forward.
Fields to punt. Leotis McKelvin is back inside the 15 for the Buffalo Bills. Brandon Fields, they're going to let this bounce, and it goes into the end zone. Touchback to the 20. 56-yard punt. So we'll see if the confidence of Fitzpatrick is shaken at all. Interim head coach Todd Bowles, he said it's not about me, it's about trying to keep the team afloat, making sure everyone plays hard. They have today, they lead it 20 unanswered points. Just punted the ball into the end zone, 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for Fitzpatrick, who will look on the sideline here. Intercepted! A second pickoff for Vontae Davis. Vontae Davis picks up another one.
Now, I know everyone's going to look and say, hey, Fitzpatrick's off this game with a 3rd interception. This is not on Fitzpatrick. He trusts that Stevie Johnson is going to contest for the football. And watch Stevie Johnson and watch Vontae Davis. Who goes up for the ball and who doesn't? The guy who goes up for the ball wins. And Fitzpatrick never got the effort out of his receiver, Stevie Johnson, that he expected. He has to go up and contest for the ball, and the coaches are telling him just that. And, well, he's arguing at the official now saying, hey, he pushed off on him.
Vontae Davis, he's from Washington, D.C. He was the high school football player of the year in that area. He's come up with 2 big ones, the former #1 pick. Davis out of Illinois. His 3rd NFL season, 1st and 10, Matt Moore. Right to work, deflected by Shepard, incomplete. They were going for the tight end Fasano. As we now go to New York, and here's James Brown.
Will Indy get win #1?
Oh, it's looking that way, JB. Going back to pass. Hasselbeck picked off right here by Jacob Lacey. He takes it 31 yards in for the touchdown, and they now lead Tennessee 17-6.
3:48 and counting in the 3rd. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
Interesting situation there in Indiana. They're playing for something. They're trying to win.
2nd down and 10. Here is Reggie Bush. And he'll find his way into the secondary and down to the 33 on a gain of 9. And Reggie Bush now today is over 90 yards on the ground.
Yeah, there's Fitzpatrick. Oh, look at Hall of Fame quarterback Jim Kelly. Look, he's got words of encouragement for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
How about that?
That is just awesome. And Jim's always been a class act. Still in the Buffalo area. He's thrown a few of those, and he knows you need wide receivers to help you. You're going to get your name up on that wall where you got to do a lot of winning here in Buffalo, and you got to do it under some tough circumstances and tough weather.
Daniel Thomas in the backfield gets the call on 3rd and 1. and tries to reload and was taken down eventually on that play on the line. Kyle Moore makes the stop. There is no gain on the play. Let's go back to New York and James.
A big man's dream, Coach.
Oh, Kevin and Sully, his defensive touchdowns all over the place. Off the play action. Caleb Haney, no, yes. Greg Ryan to 18 yards, bumbling in, high-stepping. And right now, 21-14. Seattle is leading Chicago.
Maybe low-stepping, Kevin and Sully.
Pete Carroll's got that Seattle team playing.
And you know what, Coach Cowher, we'll allow the defensive guys a high step, but no dance.
4th and 1. Miami goes for it. Good-looking throw with a great catch. Marshall brings it in. Did he fumble the ball? Florence may have taken it away.
They're saying he's down.
And they say he's down, much to the chagrin of the Buffalo Bills. Oh, and it's Buffalo's ball. They did get the ball.
One said it was down. The other one now is pointing in the direction of the Buffalo Bills. Now remember, tie goes to the offensive player. If both guys caught the ball and had it simultaneously, now flags go up. If both guys had it simultaneously, then it has to be ruled to the offense. And at what point did Drayton Florence pry the ball loose?
If it is a turnover, it'll be the second time Miami has turned the ball over inside the Buffalo 25 today.
They're having a conference over it. Okay, both guys has the ball. Clearly Marshall had it.
Oh, but he took it away.
But it looked as if the ball came out before Marshall's knee hit the ground.
Here's a catch. Then the ball was stripped. It will be Buffalo's ball. After the play was over, personal foul, number 68.
Cognito.
Miami throwing a forearm. That 15-yard penalty will be added on. 1st and 10, Buffalo.
That's the guard incognito. And so we'll see, was his knee down as the ball went loose? We'll see if there's a challenge when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Droid Razor by Motorola. Droid strong, razor sharp. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Miami will not challenge. We've looked at the replay. It was indeed a strip by Drayton Florence. And thus the ball goes to the Bills at the 36, 1st down and 10. And off to Tashard Choice, who's grabbed by Solian. Coming up the middle for a gain of 4 to the 40-yard line.
Kevin, this is just a great play by Drayton Florence because he's going to pry the ball loose from Brandon Marshall. And see, we can see it right there. Stop it right there. Because see, you can see the ball now belonging to Drayton Florence, but Brandon Marshall's not on the ground at all. While Florence has the ball right there, you can clearly see Blue has the ball. Marshall no longer has it. So it's the 3rd takeaway of the game by the Buffalo Bills defense. Both teams now have turned the ball over 3 times each.
Miami playing with 5 defensive backs or more all game long. 2nd down and 6 here for Fitzpatrick, who's thrown 3 picks. And that is caught by Stevie Johnson. He was working on the defensive back, Tyrone Culver. It is a catch and a bit of a run for 20 yards. He'll be at the 40 of the Fins.
What did Chan Gailey tell us about Stevie Johnson? That he runs routes differently, and not even every route is run the same way. And that the quarterback has to really be patient in anticipating what Stevie Johnson's going to do, because sometimes they won't be on the same page because he's not as consistent. But that's what allows him to get open and constantly beat some of the best defenders in the NFL.
They get the 1st down at the Miami 40. And this is C.J. Spiller with Jeremiah Bell riding him down a little bit there at about the 34-yard line, and a gain of 6 on the play. Cameron Wake is on his back too.
Oh, Ryan Fitzpatrick has struggled a little bit today, throwing the ball to the wrong team. That's because of pressure. Vontae Davis jumping the route. And then here's one where I think he forced it. His ball's batted up and then yet intercepted again. And now Vontae Davis comes up with his 2nd interception of the day. Just really outplaying Stevie Johnson and contesting for the ball. And I thought 2 of them he could have played better. I thought on that last one, Stevie Johnson, he could have got more help from his wide receiver.
Dolphins turned over 2 times inside the Buffalo 25 today. 2nd down and 4. Choice is by Dansby and knocked out of bounds. Flag has been thrown at the 41. As he turned the corner, picked up 8.
10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
9th penalty on the Buffalo Bills. That ties a season high.
Well, they're making some plays, and because of these turnovers and these 9 penalties, I should say, they really have caused some good plays produced by this offense to come off the board.
Fitzpatrick is now over the last 11+ games, and down there goes Lee Smith. He's taking the place of the injured Scott Chandler. 2nd down and 14. Away. Good defense that time by Cameron Wake, who already has a sack in his back pocket today, and comes right in the passing lane of Fitzpatrick there.
Well, he's working over Eric Pierce, the right tackle. He walked right in to the backfield. In fact, they could have called Pierce for holding, because look, he beats him right now. Look at, see the holding? There it is right there. Could have maybe called him for holding, but Wake is just giving Pierce fits coming around that left corner, getting outside of the tackle.
So now 3rd and 14, finishing up that third on Fitzpatrick. Over the last 12 games, including today, 16 interceptions he has thrown, including 3 today. 3rd and 14, going deep and looking for Hagan, overshoots everybody, and back there among the defensive coverage, Sean Smith looking for Derek Hagan. Here come the boos again, cascading down from the upper deck, and they'll have to let that ball go back on a punt to the Dolphins.
Well, one part of it is this offensive line is not really holding up today. It's the pressure. See, when the pocket collapses, he's got to step up. Now you got to get rid of him, because Wake is just walking around Pierce as if Pierce was standing still. He essentially threw that ball away where neither the defense or his receiver could get it.
7th punt in 12 possessions. Mormon boots this. There's a flag. It looks like Marvin Mitchell ran into the punter. Fair caught by Bess at about the 12. Marvin Mitchell, a special teamer, and running right into the veteran Brian Mormon, the 2-time Pro Bowler. It was 4th and 14. Ooh, a little word there to someone on the sideline. He said, I've had about enough of you.
John Perry's handling his business.
Running into the kicker. Kicking plant leg. Kicking leg was the one that was contacted. That penalty's been declined. 1st and 10, Miami.
So 31 yards on the punt. Timeout.
War for them.
We're back in snowy Buffalo, where Miami's going to get it. They've had 3 takeaways, which is a season high today. They had a 65-yard touchdown pass in their second half. More to Marshall. A 22-yard touchdown pass to Fasano. A couple of field goals. 1st and 10. Reggie Bush. Now Bush today, that's his 18th carry on the season. He picks up 3. He has 95 yards on the day. George Wilson gets off the pile there out to the 15. Couple of interesting situations. Green Bay is trailing in Arrowhead 9-7. First time all season long Green Bay has trailed in the 4th. And look at the Colts, who are beating the Tennessee Titans in a very important game for Tennessee. They're very much in the playoff race.
Have an eye on 2 streaks that could be snapped today. Green Bay Packers, of course, they have yet to be defeated and winless in Indianapolis.
2nd down and 7. Bush had a little chip, and now he gets the ball. Around Shepard he goes. He'll weave his way and touched by Burnett. There's a flag on the play, and the gain on the play was a yard. They've got him spotted at the 17-yard line as we speak.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the offense. Illegal block in the back, number 68. Penalty's been declined. Holding, number 74. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Well, Matt Moore's made the best of his opportunity today and sat out most of the week, suffering from concussion-like symptoms, and then he recovered to throw touchdown passes to Anthony Fasano, a 65-yarder to Brandon Marshall, a perfect ball for a perfect strike. Matt Moore's improved all season long, Kevin, and we've seen this offense improve. You can see 6 pass plays of 20 yards or more in this game today against the Buffalo Bills defense.
Matt Moore originally went to UCLA there a short time, transferred to Oregon State. He was undrafted, went to Dallas, waived, went to Carolina, started a couple games there. In fact, 5 starts last season, and now is a Miami Dolphin as an unrestricted free agent. 2nd and 15. Hardy Bills fans. They need the 24. Oops, somebody moved. That our friend John Jerry there at that left tackle. Only 1 sack allowed by the offensive line today, by the way, for the Dolphins.
False start. Number 74. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And he's taking the place of Jake Long. Hurt his back last week. Did not practice this week. 61 consecutive starts coming to a close.
Oh, he knew the pressure was coming off this right side. Now watch him move right there. Right there. That was a run play, too, because he was blocking down.
Now he's marooned down at his 3. 2nd and 19. Reggie Bush. Grabbed by Spencer Johnson. It is a gain of 3. Up to the 7-yard line goes Bush. Spencer Johnson.
Spencer Johnson, look at number 91. Watch him come off this block, and then watch him go ahead and reposition himself to be able to keep Reggie Bush from popping that one, because I thought it was good blocking up front, except they forgot to block number 91.
Yeah. Former defensive lineman who now plays in a upward stance. He plays linebacker. 3rd and 16. Bush, by the way, 2 yards away from 100 on the ground. They need the 24. Reggie Bush looking for blocking. Florence forcing him out of bounds, and he'll be shy after a little run right there of 6. On the day, 103. Kelsey makes the stop. They got a punt.
No, we said something about C.J. Spiller running to the sideline, and I got to go downhill, Reggie. Got to get going vertical. You can't get to that first down marker out there. You had way too far to go. Something to be said about taking a direct path to that first down mark.
Let's see what kind of hang time the punt by Fields brings Miami. Leotis McKelvin at the 32. Hang time of 4.41. Great special teams pursuit and tackle on the play. Jimmy Wilson comes up with the play, and Wilson, the rookie from Montana, 55-yard punt. Only one network launched the most new hits this season with shows like Two Broke Girls, Unforgettable, and Person of Interest. Only CBS. So from the 30-yard line, the Buffalo Bills will have it 1st and 10. Their quarterback has thrown 3 interceptions. The only touchdown is an early game 24-yard touchdown run by back C.J. Spiller. Costin, 83, now becomes the full-time tight end because Lee Smith was injured. He's the backup tight end. Chandler, the starter's out. Oh, and another big-time hit. That was turned in by Randy Starks. That is the 2nd sack. It is a loss of 5. It's back to the 25. Starks gets his 2nd sack on the season.
How does Fitzpatrick hold on to this ball? Look like he's about to throw it, and then runs right into Starks. Feel the pain. He was hit hard, and then he hit the ground hard.
He was a great basketball player growing up with Starks in the Washington, D.C. area. And moved to football. Went to Maryland. 2nd down and 15. A lot of defensive backs for the Dolphins. Underneath. That's caught by David Nelson out of the University of Florida. It is a gain of 6. He has a career year going here in his 2nd NBA or NFL season. Second NBA. I talk about Miami, I think of the Heat. I think of the Miami Heat. And the stop there was made by Will Allen.
Sure, the Dolphins and Stephen Ross and Jeff Ireland, they want to put it into that. They want to put Dolphins back on the map. And look at, you can see this Bills offense 0 for 8 so far on 3rd down. In the previous game earlier this year, week 11, they were 0 for 12 on 3rd down against this Dolphins defense.
3rd and 9. more nice defense. That time, Jeremiah Bell lunged out, knocked that pass down. So Fitzpatrick will again face a chorus of boos back to the sideline.
So they're now 0 for 9 on third down. So in both games so far, going back to week 11, including today, the Buffalo Bills are 0 for 21 on third down plays against the Dolphins defense.
This Miami defense has been fun to watch. Now, they're only playing the Bills, and that doesn't say a whole lot.
Fun, but fun for everyone except
Buffalo.
Except for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, it's been tough with the 3 picks today, and 2 by Vontae Davis and Mormon. Uncluttered in front of him, will knock it to Best at the 21-yard line. They'll reverse and dance and get a block. And they finally snare him as he's out near the 40-yard line. Leotis McKelvin among a couple that bring him down. 17-yard return, 47-yard punt. And last week, Warren Sapp made amends with Hines Ward. And Tim Tebow is mic'd up for more late game magic. Tune in this week to the show the pros watch inside the NFL. Wednesdays on Showtime.
Can we talk about Tim Tebow just for 1 second?
Sure,
because everyone, if you gotta like Tim Tebow, and I think as an analyst, don't you kind of fear being on the wrong side of history as you just watch him win week in and week out? Sooner or later, you got to see enough evidence to say, wow, this guy knows how to win football.
Well, there have been some pretty concrete statements made by the critics about Tebow. 1st and 10. Reggie Bush with 104 yards on the ground. Barnett and others there with the stop on a gain of 3. Drayton Florence digging his way in there too. Tough day for the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Moore has thrown 2 touchdown passes for the Dolphins, who lead it 20-7. Starting the 4th quarter here in Buffalo. We're to 2nd down and 8 for the Miami Dolphins. Bush in the backfield. Marshall's caught a 65-yard touchdown pass from Moore. They got a 22-yard touchdown pass to Fasano. Reggie Bush makes a miss again. Off to the races and hurdles Florence, who knocks him down. 14-yard gain and 120 on the ground for Bush today.
He's finishing strong, but he started off very cold with a fumble that led to the Bills' first touchdown, but then he started to heat up. And he put on some video game type moves on George Wilson, exploding to the 2nd and 3rd level of the defense. And then this last play here, as he now has topped 100 yards rushing for the 3rd consecutive game. And you just got to be proud of the way this guy has really proven himself this year, Kevin.
Here's Donald Thomas on 1st and 10. He cuts outside with the nice block given by Marshall. Then ushered out of bounds on the sideline by George Wilson. That's a gallop of 27 yards. You can almost feel now that the Bills are demoralized. You know, in the first game, Miami, who rolled all over Buffalo, said that they laid down. And Buffalo's got to catch themselves. They've lost 6 straight games coming into today. And finding motivation has got to be tough.
Yeah, bad tackling, I think, on the back end for this Buffalo Bills defense. Not something you normally see. And if you're Miami, you want to be able to finish this one off. Chan Gailey's just looking to get something out of his defense.
1st and 10, Thomas. Right in the middle there, and among the many to make the stop, George Wilson on a gain of 2, and he works his way to the 15-yard line of the Dolphins, of the Buffalo Bills.
Miami Dolphins have blown a 4th quarter lead in 4 games this year. And you could tell, you know, what did Reggie Bush tell us? We want to play in the spirit of Tony Sperano. And that spirit was to just keep fighting, keep clawing. And, you know, Todd Bowles thanked Tony Sperano for what he's done for his career. And, you know, Todd Bowles has come up under some really impressive coaches.
He has.
Talking about a coaching tree and having learned from some of the right guys.
Bush is back in, 2nd down and 8. Another good-sized hole. Kerry blocking downfield. Brought down on the play by Kellen Hurd, all 345 pounds of him. There's a gain of 6 for Bush, who ties a career high on the ground, 126 yards and 23 carries.
And what did Todd Bowles tell us? He learned strategy and how to read formations from Richie Pettibone, who he played for in Washington. Emmett Thomas, the Hall of Fame defensive back. He learned fundamentals and film study, learned technique from Ray Rhodes, but more importantly for Bill Parcells, talked about the administrative skills and life lessons and learning how to coach the coaches from a guy like Bill Parcells. think Parcells, we all know about him, but when you have guys like Todd Bowles follow you, good things happen.
Dolphins take a timeout. Dolphins took over on a punt. They've had some great runs. One by Bush, a 27-yard run by Donald Thomas. Finding their way now down to the 9-yard line of the Buffalo Bills, where it is 3rd down and 2 after Miami just burned their first timeout. Daniel Thomas. He is out now, and in is the running back, Reggie Bush. Quick 10 time hit by Wilson. Gain of a yard, down to about the 8.
Reggie Bush running hard. He said, you know, it was a different role for him, Kevin, in New Orleans, where he was expected to just play his role. And I think rightfully so, where he won the Super Bowl championship, and you had so many weapons on that offense, that his role was as a 3rd down guy. But what did he say that has been his kryptonite? Pass protection. That's another thing he wanted to work on here coming to Miami.
Already 2 for 2. Carpenter will try to make it 3 for 3 with another field goal. A 16-point margin. 23 unanswered points by Miami and interim head coach Todd Bowles.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Walmart. Save money, live better. Walmart. And by the Droid Razor. Thin is no longer frail, only at Verizon.
That's a great shot. 11:46 to play here in the 4th quarter. Well, if you take the combined rushing totals of Daniel Thomas and Reggie Bush, 163 yards between the two. All a part of Miami's showing today. Rodgers goes to a knee, touchback to the 20-yard line. Fitzpatrick, who has thrown 3 touch interceptions, will be out there for the Buffalo Bills. As you take a look at some of the numbers in that Kansas City Green Bay score, is a little interesting at Arrowhead with under 9 to play in the 4th quarter.
Certainly bears watching. Wow, yeah, is all you can say. And the New Orleans Saints, with a win over Minnesota, can put some pressure on the San Francisco 49ers for their game, their matchup with Pittsburgh tomorrow night.
And remember, Dallas winning last night, the Redskins beating the Giants, who come in 7-6. That's going to fit a little bit with that NFC East. Fitzpatrick remains, 1st down and 10 yards to go from the 20-yard line. Spiller back there with him. He had a 24-yard touchdown run on their 3rd possession. And this goes to Nelson, who on that play will pick up 8 yards. Out to about the 27-yard line. Coming up next, it's Tebow time when the Broncos take on the Patriots, or Mark Sanchez and the Jets battle Mike Vick and the Eagles, while the Browns play the Cardinals. Check local listings for the game in your area. 2nd down and 2. And the ball is at the 28.
B-24.
C.J. Spiller brought down by Cameron Wake. He's got a deflected pass today and a sack for the defense of the Dolphins. 8-yard pickup, and that is a 1st down. They'll put him at about the 36.
Interesting conversation with 15-year veteran Jason Taylor, longtime Miami Dolphin, and kind of admitted to us that this will probably be his last trip to Buffalo as he looks to play out what has been a great career.
Nelson again on 1st and 10, grabbed by Will Allen. That is a gain of 6. Little hurry up going on now to about the 43-yard line.
Jason Taylor, 3 sacks shy of moving into top 5 all time, where he could pass Michael Strahan. He said, it'd be kind of nice to move past Strahan, so when they're retired and talking on the golf course, he could, say, hey, he accomplished that. He said his biggest regret is not delivering a Super Bowl championship to the people in South Florida and for all the Miami Dolphins fans.
Put him at the 42, 2nd down and 4. Fitzpatrick. Here's by McDaniel. Gets the ball off to Stevie Johnson. He got a block from Spiller. Nolan Carroll finally grabs him and brings him down. 20-yard catch and run for Stevie Johnson.
Looks like that field goal is really important, because now if you're Buffalo, you need more than 2 scores to tie it up. You need 3. And with plenty of time on the clock, you can see Fitzgerald getting it over to Stevie Johnson. Now, this team is not giving up.
Fitzpatrick today, 15 of 27, 3 interceptions. Spiller. And McDaniel was there. That is a pickup of 5 on the play by C.J. Spiller. Jason Taylor. Pretty good company with those guys above him. Goldman and Strahan, Green, White, of course. The former Buffalo Bill, Bruce Smith, the retired Bruce Smith.
He even thanked Tony Sperano for bringing him back home, where he had played for the Jets a year ago, and he says it's where his foundation is, his business is, where his family is. Miami's home.
Brett Smith on 2nd down and 5. He was hit on that play. Allen was there. Gain of 8. Also, Burnett gets off the pile. They'll put him at the 25. First down. You can see all the defensive backs that the Dolphins have. Plus, they're dropping Dansby deep back in coverage. Underneath they go. Screen pass to Spiller. Urban Cassino with the block and hit there by Sean Smith. Catch and run of 11 yards, putting him at the 14-yard line.
And you might say, well, why are the Bills able to move the ball now when previously they had not been able to? As you take a look at the screen play over to C.J. Spiller. But Mike Nolan's defense right now, they're not coming after Ryan Fitzpatrick as they had earlier in the game, where they were blitzing him seemingly on every single play.
Working with 6 defensive backs. Miami digs in, 1st and 10 from the Dolphin 14. Fitzpatrick, Johnson, Vontae Davis with the hit. Davis has got a couple picks today. 5-yard gain right there, and the ball at the 9.
You saw those red zone numbers when they were 5-2 in those first 7 games. They were phenomenal. 25 red zone possessions, that scored 17 touchdowns, where in these last 6 games, 15 red zone possessions, only 5 touchdowns. So there's 10 other times where they're leaving points on the board.
Choice in the backfield, 2nd down and 5 for Fitzpatrick. Grabbed, still on his feet. They blew the whistle. He was in the grass. Odrick was there.
Should a big guy ever do a Pee Wee Herman dance?
Well,
a big guy doing that dance, and you can see Taylor and Odrick both coming after the quarterback. Odrick just does a wonderful job getting pressure and beating Andy Levitri to come away with the sack.
That for Odrick with the loss of 10, his 5th sack. The ball pushed back to the 19. We've got a timeout on the field. Timeouts now even at 2, 7:17 to play here in the 4th quarter. The Bills are driving, 19-yard line of Miami, 3rd down and 15. Buffalo 0 of 9 on 3rd down tries today. Hands caught. Spiller corkscrews to the 4. And a gain of 14, very close to a 1st down.
Well, if they could convert this one, that means they would have snapped a streak of 24 consecutive 3rd down opportunities squandered against this Miami Dolphins defense.
Kevin Burnett made the hit, the linebacker for the Miami Dolphins, and now here we go with a measurement which will afford Fitzpatrick some time to talk things over with Chan Gailey.
Well, it goes all the way back to last year, Kevin. The Bills offense has struggled on 3rd down against this Miami Dolphins defense. We're on the last 24 times and now make it 25 in a row. But they've not been able to convert on 3rd down. I think that's just an amazing number, because in the National Football League, 3rd down is a big down. And if you can't convert those 3rd downs, it's going to be tough to win.
Well, they've faced 3rd and 10 today 5 times. Now 4th and 1 at Miami's 4. Fitzpatrick is on the line. Merling is in there. Taylor, Burnett, all on that line. 4th and 1.
Inside.
And Fitzpatrick on the quarterback sneak. Oh, he's got it. They grabbed him, but he's down inside the 3. So on the gain of 2, it becomes 1st and goal for the Buffalo Bills.
Well, they get a push. Second effort. Look at this. C.J. Spiller just, you can see the offensive line get some movement. Fitzpatrick runs right behind him. Get some real well-designed plays down inside the red zone for Chan Gailey's group. We've seen it before.
1st and goal at the 3. Spiller among the 5 that are wide for Fitzpatrick. That is a touchdown. Spiller, 3-yard catch. His 2nd touchdown today. Under 6 to play. A couple of timeouts. It looks like they're going to go for 2.
Yeah, they're going to go for 2. He's working against Carlos Dansby. Just beat him inside early, right away. That's way too easy. Anytime you're man-to-man defense, you can't allow the offensive player, that receiver, to get across your face. There's no help inside. It's going to force them to go back outside for the long throw.
They'll try for 2. Smith in motion. Fitzpatrick. Coverage by Miami. Where is that? And that is Burnett. He was brought down by Reinhardt. So they don't get the 2. They're down by 10. And we take a break with 5:54 to play as Spiller gets the touchdown reception.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry, with 5 times the selection of ordinary jewelry stores. And by Subway Restaurants. Give a $25 Subway card today.
The tech of the year. Donnie enjoying some wings here in Buffalo. 12-play, 80-yard drive. It took a long time, and there's not a lot of time with which to work. 5:54 to play here in the 4th. The kickoff is going to come from Rayner of the Buffalo Bills. Montez is back about the 15-yard line. Little chip shot here, as you might expect. And they're caught. Did he raise his hand? I couldn't tell if he raised it or not, but he goes down, obviously, as you can see. And so down it goes at about the 24. And a second off the clock. And you can see the Dolphins have had trouble with some 4th quarter leads this season. And that is Kyle Orton started today for Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium, and Romeo Crennel taking over for the just fired Todd Haley.
And I guess we should have known something, because it's never been easy to go into Arrowhead Stadium and win a ball game. I don't care who you are. Certainly that one's set up very well with him starting Kyle Orton and giving him an opportunity to run the Chiefs offense.
Clay is the fullback, and Reggie Bush with a big hole, hurdling a defender, and there he goes! And the dagger for the Miami Dolphins. Reggie Bush streaking 76 yards.
Oh, wow. Now, before everyone starts to kill Reggie Bush for the excessive celebration, the penalty flag wasn't on him. It was in the reverse react once his teammate did the same thing he did by sliding in the end zone. Great blocking up front. Look at Richie Incognito,
yes, sir,
with a break, and then forcing Jarius Byrd to miss on the back end. Reggie Bush. It's the kind of running we saw.
Play is a score. After the score, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, excessive celebration, number 22, who went to the ground. That penalty will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff.
I stand corrected, because you're right. He did go to the ground, so initially he's calls there for the slide.
Well, what about when Devin Hester returns a punt and he does a couple of somersaults into the end zone?
That's going to the ground, and we've seen that not called. There's no doubt.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Good point. Good point.
Here's Carpenter trying for the extra point. Pull down the high snap, and the Dolphins at 5:41 to play here in the second half. 30-13. Over 200 rushing yards for Bush today to New York and James Brown.
Kevin, sliding your way next. Appointment television, the Patriots and the Broncos.
Yeah, talking about contrasting styles. Tom Brady wants to get this game fast. At times it seems effortless. It's pretty. Win it early. And then with Tim Tebow, let's slow it down. Methodical. Ugly at times. And let's get it to Tebow time and find a way to win.
Brady versus Tebow. Many of you will see that next. Kevin, I like the slide. Anyway, back to Kevin and Solly.
We like the slide, too. Last time the Dolphins saw Tim Tebow, it was down in South Florida, and Tebow rallied them from a 15-0 deficit with about 4 minutes left in the game.
Wow,
and
yeah.
Scored 18 unanswered in overtime to win it. And that was the beginning of this 7-1 rampage by Tebow as the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos. He is very close to 1,000. They're happy for him, too. He's a delightful kid. He loves South Florida. He would love to stay there. But like you had mentioned earlier, he gave Tony Sparano a lot of credit for believing that he could be an every down back for this team.
He came in needing, 230 yards to hit the 1,000-yard mark. He's got 203 right now. Just incredible. You can see in the 57 offensive plays, they've reeled off a lot of big ones here today. Brian Daboll, the offense coordinator. I think everyone's really proud of Reggie Bush. We said it at the beginning of the game, Kevin, the way he runs, I think that determination has spread throughout the rest of the team.
So after the 76-yard touchdown run by Bush, 76 yards, the ensuing kickoff, and Justin Rogers was caught and brought down after a 21-yard return by Marvin Mitchell.
Here's a summary of today's game. The Bills got on the scoreboard first with a C.J. Spiller run for a touchdown. They tied it up. Matt Moore to Anthony Fasano. Touchdown strike, and then the missed field goal there by the Buffalo Bills before halftime, and then Reggie Bush, 56 yards, setting sail for over 200 yards rushing on the day. Reggie Bush has been phenomenal. Matt Moore's played well. This team has played well in the absence of their head coach, Tony Sparano, and I think if you're Todd Bowles, you got to be pleased with how his team has traveled here to Buffalo and played today.
First down and 10 from the 33-yard line for Fitzpatrick with 3 interceptions thrown today. And it's reeled in by the running back after a gain of 3, Brad Smith. Monte Davis was there. Second down and 7 from the 36-yard line. Flag, as you can see, thrown. Hagan makes the catch. Allen throws him to the ground. 11-yard catch as it stands right now. So the Dolphins putting on a performance in the wake of their head coach, Tony Sparano, being fired
Prior
on Monday.
to the pass being thrown, holding, defense, number 24, penalties declined, result of the play, first and 10.
There was a real, genuine well, they loved this guy, but they really liked Tony Sparano. To a man, we talked to the Dolphins last night, and they really had great respect for him as a coach and as a person.
Yeah, I think Reggie Bush put it best, and he said, hey, he was a fine coach, but an even better person. They all loved playing for him, and they know that. They played hard, even though they were 0-7, gotten off to such a bad start. They said Tony Sparano wouldn't allow them to feel sorry for themselves. He told the team, when we get out of our way, we'll become a good football team.
First down and 10. Grabbed by Nelson, who's only a part-time starter down at the University of Florida. He makes another grab. It's a 21-yard catch and a first down.
Nelson's one of these players working in the slot. He's become a real good one. Fitzpatrick, I don't know how he completed that ball with defenders draped all over him. He was hit. Ball came out wobbly, and Nelson still able to haul it in.
Culver makes the stop defensively for the Dolphins. So 11 consecutive completions for the quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick. From the 33 of Miami, first and 10. Dansby on the blitz and looking down the side and going for Hagan. Covered on the play by Will Allen.
In that previous possession, we said that Mike Nolan called off the dogs, but not now. They're still coming. Look at Dansby. Comes free and clean, teeing off on Ryan Fitzpatrick from that blitzing linebacker position.
2nd down and 10. Bills have had a day where they've seen their quarterback throw the 3 picks. The 3 takeaways by Miami has been a season out. 2nd down and 10. Screen pass for Spiller. Petrie and Urbeck out there providing blocks and a door to the 14-yard line. Brought down by Sean Smith. Catch and run of 19. Clock is stopped at 3:45.
Oh, this screenplay has hurt them earlier, even on the previous drive, where the Bills had scored a touchdown in the same quarter. And now they come back and run it again to the same exact side to C.J. Spiller for a big game.
Spiller today has caught 7 passes for 62 yards, including a touchdown moments ago. He's carried 12 times for 91 yards. He's been a very effective offensive player for the Buffalo Bills. 1st and 10. And Fitzpatrick will throw to Ruvel Martin, who picks up 9 on the play. Martin with this team cut and then taken back in after injuries. Hit the receiving corps.
After having some injuries, they brought him back in, and it's been rather productive for him. They have several guys they can go to, but Stevie Johnson is still their best wide receiver.
Nolan Carroll had the tackle there. It's 2nd down and 1. Inside, Martin again, and dancing his way. And Jason Taylor with the tackle near the 1, gain of 3. And that should be a 1st down. It is at the 2 where they'll put it. First and goal. All passes on this drive on the 7 previous plays. They're eating precious time right now. They need to get this thing off and play with more urgency. 1st and goal at the 2. Here comes Dansby. There goes the pass, and that is a touchdown. That is a touchdown, and it's caught by Derek Hagan. A 2-yard touchdown pass by Fitzpatrick, who has now thrown 2 touchdown passes and the 3 interceptions.
Jason Taylor telling them to look at the big screen. Let's see if he crossed the plane. Did he come down in bounds? There he is.
Yep, he caught it
and came down on the other side of the white line. Good throw, good catch. Right there.
He was with the out of Arizona State. Here is the extra point try by Dave Rayner. He missed an earlier field goal of 26. And he'll try to tack on another point, which he does, making it a 10-point game with 2:27 to play, and each team with 2 timeouts remaining in the head coaching debut of Todd Bowles. Christmas Day, the NFL Holiday Spectacular, and the magic of NFL films puts you in the spirit with the all-time most memorable holiday moments. Plus, experience the historical journey of African Americans in pro football on 3rd and Long. Those are that smoke there in the left part of your screen. That is, they just shot off some fireworks or something. But it could be, you know, some of the fog that's beginning to kind of settle into the stadium here with the snow continue to fall off and on all afternoon long. Dolphins, who began this season 0-7, then they went 4-1. They lost last week to Philadelphia 26-10. But they come in having won 4-6, and they are hovering over another win right here. But there's still a lot of time left, 2:27 to play. See what Dave Rayner and the Buffalo Bills and their special teams coach Bruce DeHaven have up their sleeve here.
I would expect an onside kick. Got to get the ball back immediately. Down by 10, needing 2 scores.
with a little onside, and that was deflected and recovered by Buffalo. Oh, boy, hit it.
It's still out.
It's still alive, and now Buffalo's got it.
Wow. Everyone had a shot at it.
Sure, you're exactly right.
Twice.
Everybody was jumping on that loose ball, and they're still fighting for it right there, but they signaled Buffalo. The ensuing scrum.
And you don't want to try to pick the ball up. You want to fall on it. There was too many guys bending over trying to pick it up as if they were going somewhere with it. All you want to do is recover the ball, possess it.
You can see him digging for it. And coming up with it, George Wilson, who's a former college wide receiver. Wilson comes up with the ball for Buffalo.
I think about 5 or 6 guys had a shot. There was one for the Dolphins.
That was
and
Fasano.
There's 2 right there. 3, guy kicked it. There was 4 tried to pick it up. That's 5, 6, and 7 at the bottom of the pile. And then maybe the 8th guy is George Wilson finally falling on it. Look at this. Now, why would you try to pick it up here? Right there. That's Shepard. He's a rookie, so I guess we have to forgive him. But Wilson, the veteran, smartly falls on it.
This game has suddenly gotten a lot more interesting here at the 45. First and 10 for Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Dolphins aren't getting lined up.
And now they're bringing some guys on that line. The blitz. Fitzpatrick knocked away. Jason Taylor swats it away. Second down and 10.
We said on the previous possession they had kind of called off the dogs a little bit. Now look at everyone in a gap. They're bringing everyone, trying to get someone free to the quarterback. Here you see Jason Taylor nearly had himself an interception.
Second down and 10. Buffalo has 2 timeouts, and the Dolphins have 2 timeouts. Fitzpatrick has gained a little bit more regularity in his play. There is a flag, and they're going down the sideline, and it was caught. Ruvell Martin working on Vontae Davis. The catch and the gain to the 27. A 28-yard pickup, and let's see what the flag is all about. John Perry.
Offside defense. Number 37. Penalties decline. Result of the play. First down.
Saying that Jeremiah Bell was offside. This is Ruvell Martin against Vontae Davis. Big guy contesting for the ball. Remember we talked about Stevie Johnson not going up for the ball, allowed it to be intercepted. Ruvell Martin doing a better job of rewarding his quarterback going up for the football.
First and 10 for Fitzpatrick. Again, the open receiver. This is Spiller. Wisely gets out of bounds. So they got the 2-minute warning, which will stop the clock. They've got two timeouts remaining. That was an 8-yard pickup right there and a pass to the running back.
Veteran coach in Chan Gailey. The first-time head coach in his very first game for Todd Bowles. Valuable experience right now for Todd Bowles in this situation, managing the clock, getting his team a win that's not going to be automatically given because Chan Gailey wants it for his football team.
6 in the secondary, as we've seen often today for Miami. Second down and 2. Time again, and he'll go ahead first down for a gain of 5 to about the 13-yard line. We've reached the 2-minute warning with the Bills on the move and down by 10. Two-minute warning, 1:58 to play. Buffalo has it first and 10 at the Miami 14-yard line. You thought with the touchdown run by Bush, that was it. And Buffalo coming back here. And that has kind of been their motto, especially early in the season with all the fourth quarter times they've rallied to come back. 2 fourth-quarter comebacks led by the quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick this season. Miami's had trouble in the fourth quarter themselves. First and 10 from the 14. That's a strike. Spiller. Gain of 8 on the play. Brought down by Dansby. And they spot the ball at the 6. Second down and 2. And the Bills have a couple timeouts in Miami with 2. Low snap. Urbeck was sending it back, and false start.
False start. Number 60. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's the 10th penalty on Jan Gailey's Buffalo Bills. They've had a missed field goal in this game at the end of the half, which is looming big.
It is looming big because should they come away with a touchdown here, it would be to tie the game as opposed to being down by 3. So missed opportunity before they have to get 3 points on the board. Right now, staring them right in the face, coming back to home.
Second down and 7. It's back at the 11-yard line for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Blitz was on, knocked a nice defensive play, going for Brad Smith, and the coverage on the play by Nolan Carroll.
Starts with the pressure, Jeremiah Bale. See, that forces the quick throw. And then Carroll knows that he can break early on the ball, forcing the early throw. See, coverage has to know what the pressure is doing up front, and if it's well coordinated, boy, you can really create some big plays. We've seen that on the first interception by Vontae Davis.
Well, you can see the Bills have not converted on third down today. Third down and 7. But again, they don't convert that time either. That was intended for Spiller, and the coverage by Tyrone Culver. The pressure from Cameron Wake. Fourth down now coming up for Buffalo.
Right. Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins, dialing up all the pressure he can bring on Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's not going to allow Fitzpatrick to sit back there and hold on to the football. Going to force an early decision and an early throw. And now, since they need 2 scores, maybe you go for the field goal here.
Which is what they will do.
And they better hurry.
They better, because the play clock, which just reset, now gives them full time with Dave Rayner trying a 29-yard field goal. And a timeout taken.
False start.
Oh.
Number 92. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
So that is a penalty called on Alex Carrington. The Bills were lining up, and it looked almost like Miami was trying to call a timeout, and I don't think the officials saw them, and they called the penalty instead, which now moves it back from a 29-yard field goal to a 34-yard field goal attempt. Rayner, and gets that one to go. So somewhere in there they had to have the field goal, which they got. It's a 7-point game with 1:22 to play. 2 timeouts remaining each way. And the AFC playoff picture, which will not include these 2 teams, but does include these. Kansas City gets a win. They now go to 6-8. And I guess mathematically in that West, they are alive.
Well, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think, is significant. They clinch a playoff berth. Remember, with the Tennessee Titans losing in Indianapolis, that secures a playoff spot for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Without them even playing today, they'll play tomorrow night against the San Francisco 49ers.
Jets at 8-5, and you can see the other teams that are still alive. Oakland's got a pretty important game coming up, obviously. So I'm expecting here the Buffalo Bills will try another onside kick. He has tried it 6 times as Dave Rayner. He was successful earlier. The second time he's been successful in his career.
I'm expecting the Miami Dolphins players to try to fall on the ball and to not try to pick it up. It's about recovery, not just possession and score. It's about just getting the ball and possessing it more than anything else.
Each team with 3 turnovers today. Here is Rayner trying another onside kick. Timeout, Miami. So they get to see exactly what kind of setup was going to be put out there for the Buffalo Bills and reconstitute perhaps what they've got and where the ball's going to go.
No, this is something. There's a chess match between longtime veteran coach and Chan Gailey and now Todd Bowles in his first experience as a head coach. And remember, what did he tell us? He says, you know, normally it's just my same voice, but it's with a smaller group in the room, just the defensive backs. And now he's got the entire team, and that's where you have to expand your thinking. Clock management, thinking about the special teams, thinking about the whole 53 and not just the guys in your one room. Chan Gailey's been here before and done it and several times again, and is hoping that experience can pay off.
Here again, and that was gobbled up nicely. Getting it that time was Clemens.
See how he just,
Chris Clemens vacuums it in.
Just fell on it. That's smart. You don't try to stand on 2 feet and pick it up. You cradle the ball into your chest like you're taught during training camp when you're doing your drills, because such small things, the technique of recovering that ball, can help you win a football game.
Buffalo has a couple timeouts. Miami has one. 1st and 10 for the Miami Dolphins. Daniel Thomas is in the eye with Clay in front of him as the fullback. And Daniel Thomas down to the 42. Hit by Kellen Hurd. And they'll spot him, in fact, just a little bit inside that 42-yard line.
Now Chan Gailey hoping his defense can pry that ball out, prevent a first down, force a 3 and out. Hopefully, still have 1 timeout left, and they'll burn it, trying to conserve as much time as they possibly can. But first, you have to get a stop here on 2nd and 3rd down to force a punt by the Miami Dolphins.
George Edwards on that Buffalo sideline, defensive coordinator. Linebacker coach at one time with the Miami Dolphins. 2nd down and 6. And again, they give it to Daniel Thomas.
They'll get another stop, and they'll use that final timeout to stop the clock.
Gain of 2. Dwan Edwards lifting himself off of Thomas to the 40-yard line. So Buffalo is out of timeouts. Dolphins with 1:11 to play. 3rd and 4 coming up for Miami.
We've seen young coaches over Jason Garrett in Dallas. They get a first down. They don't use a timeout to stop the clock to try to get closer to get a field goal. They do use a timeout. People said that Jason Garrett had iced his own kicker. I don't think he was doing that. I think he was just trying to make sure they were getting into the right play. But clock management so important for head coaches.
Dolphins have struggled on 3rd and short. Here they go again. Usually Lex Hilliard will go in there and get that 3rd and 1. He's one of the best at that. Of course, that was a little bit more than a yard. Shepard comes there and knocks down the running back Daniel Thomas. And now it'll be 4th and 4. Thomas took a pretty good whack.
Yeah, and it was George Edwards who blitzed on the run play. They literally just blitzed the run, hoping to get a hit on the ball carrier in the backfield, stuff them, and it's going to work in their favor.
So it's going to be about 27 seconds or so when that clock will be stopped. Let's see as they go down now to 3 and 2 on the 4th and 4. And 27 seconds with 1 second left on the play clock. And a Miami timeout. That is their last timeout of the game. Been a tough go for Chan Gailey. He's seen a season with so much promise and hope, and expectations rise at 5 and 2, and coming into today 6 consecutive losses. Miami's already fired a coach. They come in having won 4 of their last 6. But last week was probably just too much for the owner, Stephen Ross, to take, and he told Tony Sperano that he would not be coming back, and they're going to let him go. In fact, Sperano informed Todd Bowles that he was taking over. Bowles heard it from the deposed head coach before he heard it from the GM or the owner.
Then he met with general manager Jeff Ireland as well as Stephen Ross, and they informed him as well.
Fields to punt. Heavy rush, but the punt is away, and they're waiting for the full catch, and they will not be able to save it. Touchback to the 20, 40-yard punt, and 16 seconds with which to work, and no timeouts for the Buffalo Bills.
16 seconds to go. We've seen Hail Marys converted into touchdown. We've seen the Bills pull out the impossible and still win ball games. So maybe taking a shot down the field. No timeouts. Remember, if you catch it, you got to get out of bounds in order to stop the clock.
One thing these two teams told us coming in, there's no playoff spot to go for, but there are roster spots to go for. And everything that you see, of course, is put on film and evaluated throughout the offseason. So effort is high, and we've seen that from both teams this afternoon. 20-yard line, 1st and 10. And no timeouts for the Bills. Brad Smith, he'll throw the other way. He has it for Fitzpatrick, who loses the ball. It was thrown backwards, so that is a live ball. Spiller gets the ball and brought down by Wade. 2 seconds remaining, and that is the ball game. Miami wins, 203 yards rushing for Bush. The final score, the Miami Dolphins beat the Buffalo Bills 30-23. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.